Yo, what up, Zach? Hello?
Evening, gents.
What up, buddy? I don't know where Garmello is. I think Zach's AFK.
I'm gonna give you all a fair warning. I am going to try to stick with the same southern accent throughout. It's probably just 5 or 6 fucking times.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what up, what up, what up?
Howdy.
Howdy.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Now I do say, how been both well at your service.
Yes, dude.
Well, yeah, pleased to meet you. I can't remember how I did Tim Thibodeau.
Owner of the Tim's Tail Timidome.
The Tim
So-
Thibodeau.
I guess if we want, while we wait for Matt, let me see. How do I find this out? Skills.
I think Matt's here.
What's up, boys?
I mean,
Something
James. Yeah, what up?
What up, James? What's up?
What up?
Alright, so we're all here? Fuck yeah, dude.
The gang's all here.
Yeah, dog.
Let me know when you're all logged in, and we can do a little recap.
Okay,
I will be
question,
doing
what is this
Sirenscape, but
called?
it's not required. Down Darker Trails.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I gotta hide my 78 tabs.
What's it called? Certainly.
I think we're good. We just we control our character sheets in game. I think.
Right.
So in order to get to
Okay.
those, you'll have to open that right tab, and then up at the top, it's like the little floppy disk icon. For this this whole game, I have no battle maps. It's all going to be theater of the mind. I have like handouts I can give you guys as you find clues. One or more of them may be a map, but there's no, like, you won't need to control a character, so don't even worry about that. It'll just be clicking for roles. Let's see, where does it show credit rating? Oh god. Roundup Sal's got a 0 credit rating.
Oh no.
I think I let all you guys have 0 credit rating, so let's have you roll for it.
Okay.
Let me actually switch to the live stream here.
Where do
There
we
we
do
go.
that?
So, what you'll do is you'll roll 3d6 x5.
3d6 times 5?
Yep.
And
Actually, I think some of your professions would provide more or less to your credit rating score. Give me a second here.
I thought you'd had to put points in the credit rating, or maybe that's just calculated different.
No,
That's it.
I think you just... Oh, because it's Down Darker Trails, and none of you are, like, debutantes. I think you all relied on Hannah's character, who was, like, rich as fuck.
Yeah, I remember that.
But we could just roll for it. I'd assume you guys would gain some credit rating in between the last time you played in this. Where is it? Keeper
Just tell me
rulebook.
what kind of dice you want me to roll.
It's gonna be D6, 3 of them, but let me look. I think you get a multiplier.
Okay.
These are the handouts. I want to get Down Darker Trails. There we go. And then what I'm looking for is the character creation Creating characters for the Old West. Old West occupations. So I believe Albert Bothwell was a traveling salesman. So let's start with him.
14 times 5, 70. 70 credit rating.
That seems way too high. Hold on. I'm looking for your professions. I guess merchant's pretty good. Credit rating would be between 20 and 60. So I get
3d6 times 5.
Nah, I'd say since you rolled so high, you would just take the high end of your window, so take 60 credit rating. That's pretty fucking good.
Okay. And you click it to edit mode.
And then yep.
Edit 60, okay.
And then let's see. Round up Sal. Albert's good on this. Roundup was a soldier / bounty hunter. Let me see what they get to roll. Soldier warrior.
Damn, I got some good stats.
Between 10 and 70. So Roundup Sal got 13 times 5 would be 65. So you get 65 credit rating. That's damn good. So if you want, I can.
Responsible with my move.
That's what I'm saying. If you want, I can edit it real quick. Let's see. So credit rating 65. And then James rolled 8 times 5, and you were a scientist?
Yeah, scientist engineer.
So you can get between 20 and 80. So 5 times 8 is, I'm stupid, it's 40. Yeah. Maybe you've had to spend a lot of money trying to create one of your gadgets. So you had a couple failures, but the shit's expensive. So it's knocked your rating down a bit. Let's see. Do you want me to put that number in there? Or do you know how?
Into my sheet?
Yeah.
Look.
So on the top right of your sheet, there's a little button, not next to the X, but on the sheet itself. There's a little button that says Edit Mode. If you click that, you can like change anything on the sheet.
Okay. And hold on. Okay, it's 40. Got it.
Okay, sick. And then Tim, I think, was Cowboy.
Yep.
Cowboy, okay. Cowboy gets between 9 and 20 credit rating. That's rough.
Oh no.
So I guess you would probably get the 20 at least. If you rolled yet. But you could get lower. You could get 15. If you get triple, yeah, 3d6. 5. Okay, so you get 20. 20 credit rating. So that little edit button you guys may need to use throughout play to like lower your hit points or your sanity or your magic points based on like what you're spending, things like that. Stuff might happen to you that could reduce things like your strength or your constitution, so just so y'all are aware. Anyway.
Is my hot mic too much or is this okay?
That's fine. If it's bothering anybody else, you can turn Matt down in the Discord, I guess. But I gotta have you like decently loud. Also, one more time, I am running Sirenscape. Recommended, not required. Okay, so all of you have established your credit rating values, yes?
Yes.
Okay, all 4 of you. Actually, the hot mic is a little bit much. Sorry.
No worries.
nip that in the bud early. So, of the four of you, all of you will make a credit rating roll. I'm going to need at least 2 hard successes to give enough money for Wilhelm to be able to make a gadget before this next mission starts.
Okay. We need to do that now.
Amongst the four of you, yeah, I'm looking for a total of 2 hard successes.
Of credit.
Credit rating. Yep.
Okay.
How much money could you pull together on short notice? Is basically what this is. Okay, regular success, failure.
Well,
And then who else?
and Thibodeau.
Mr. Thibodeau.
Oh
Another
no,
failure.
we suck.
All right, so you won't be able to get the $10,000 needed to craft a jetpack. But
What
I
the fuck?
I think with one regular success, you probably managed to scrabble together like another $250. And I think you have about 375 on you. I think I saw that on somebody's sheet. Somebody found money or silver, and I think I just told you guys to put it down as cash. Anyway, the reason I bring this up, where is your... There it is. The reason I bring this up is you can make a death ray. It'll cost $1,000 to construct. It takes 1d10 plus 5 weeks, and this is like a year since your last mission, so you have plenty of time. As long as you don't get the, well, no, yeah, you'll have plenty of time. And in order to do so, I'm not going to be too gritty here. I'd say you guys, let's hand wave it and say you have $1,000. So you're able to make an attempt to construct a death ray. So what does it look like after the mission where Wilhelm, Sal, and Albert, I believe with Tim maybe a little bit further away from the situation, riding away from the burning down witch's home and establishing a new hideout? What does your new hideout look like?
Ooh.
Pretty sure we got ourselves a fucking
A what?
cave.
A
Deep in the
cave?
mountains.
A cave
Okay.
deep in the
Yeah.
mountains. I love that. Okay, sweet. All right, let's get...
Could Tim Thibodeau have like some sort of hunting blind like outside the cave or something like that?
Yeah, that makes sense. You'd probably have some traps set up too, just to get food.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to look for here is what does Albert's area of the cave look like, and what does Wilhelm's like impromptu lab look like?
Okay. Like that, maybe have like a folding like work table.
You guys can probably make one. You probably have to be there for a couple months.
Is the cave entrance and corridors, tunnels, whatever, are they large enough to fit a stagecoach?
There's an area to hide one at the mouth of the cave, yeah. You guys
Okay.
find, after you enter this little cave system and do some exploration, you start to set it up. Tim sets up his tree blind outside and perhaps some traps, maybe a bear trap or two. And maybe these bear traps aren't necessarily for game. Maybe somebody's following you. You don't know yet. It's still early on. But as you explore deeper into this cave system, you don't discover anything necessarily out of place. It's actually quite the contrary. You find some natural chimneys in the rock where there's scorch marks, where there were fireplaces. You have found an old bandit cave that was used specifically for hiding. So it's almost pre-set up. There isn't exactly furniture there, but it's very livable, and there is fresh water deeper in the cave. So in this system, you establish some sort of area where maybe it's a common area where you guys cook and kind of plan the next step. On this night, it's a little bit different. Wilhelm has been working on something. What does your contraption look like, Wilhelm? Your death ray.
The death ray or like what I'm like how I'm working on it.
I think both.
Okay. Yeah, it's so I said like we made like a folding table that we can move, and there's like you said there's like furnaces or like fireplaces, so that would
Yes.
definitely have to be like part of the smelting. So there'd be like a whole setup for like melting stuff
Okay.
down and
So one of those fireplaces, you guys have brought in pounds and pounds of clay and kind of made it into a small crucible to do small melts. And you've
yes.
managed to fashion a set of bellows out of some skins and some wood through some crafting of probably Jimena and the rest of you guys. So as you make this last
Maybe.
pour to cast the last piece, I'm going to need you to make a combined electric repair and science mathematics roll.
Okay.
So the way to do that
Let's
is
see.
you just roll a d100, and it needs to pass whichever of those skills is worse, I believe. Let me look that up.
Electric repair, and what was the other one?
Electric repair and science mathematics.
Oh. Science, mathematics, where are you?
Appropriate the cube roll state, roll against skill A and skill B. This means you roll once and compare your results with both skills. So whichever one
Okay.
is your weaker one, that's technically what you're rolling against.
Okay, so roll the D100 first, right?
Yes. 87.
Oof.
Not good. So this is a situation where you can use luck or you can push the roll. If you have, what is your lowest score of those two abilities? Science, mathematics, and hard electric repair. Or electric
Electric
repair.
repair, I see, but I don't see the science. Is it under?
Let me
Oh, it's not
see.
under there.
Oh, maybe the Down Darker Trails characters have a different ability. Let me see. I'll find something appropriate for you. Okay.
Operate heavy machinery, I have.
Do you have anything playing on Sirenscape right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay, I got it updated.
All right, there we go. Let's just instead let's use your education score. So your education's an 80. You rolled an 87, but you need a hard
Okay.
pass, right? So we're gonna call that 40. So is it worth 47 luck points? I don't even think you have enough to go that far. So the only way you can make this work mechanically in the game is to do what's known as pushing the roll. So that would involve you describing a way in which you're trying to succeed that is putting you or others in danger. And it'll let you re-roll the dice, and you need to get 40 or lower. So, how did
Okay.
attaching this last part of your machine go wrong, and what are you going to do to try to fix it? That's going to put you or others in danger.
I think maybe like on the way to pour it, somebody, whoever was carrying it, I don't know, probably me, like tripped over a rock or like a branch, and like spilled the remainder of the material on the melted material on the ground.
Okay. So you needed to
Um,
scavenge the rest of that. How are you going to attempt to push this roll and do it differently?
let's That's a great question. How am I going to do that? What would make it dangerous? I mean, that's pretty dangerous to begin with, but
Well, if you're kind of searching around right now, I could make a suggestion if you'd like.
okay.
Maybe you need to run. Excuse me. You need to run the crucible way too hot. Like you're definitely gonna burn the inside and the walls of it, and you won't be able to use the crucible again after this melt.
Okay.
Because the
fair.
part you need to attach needs to be attached quickly, or it kind of goes inert. How about that?
Yeah, so it's got to be really hot so it doesn't cool too quickly.
So, go ahead and push the roll. Give me an education roll. Alright, 57. That's a fail for a hard success. You, I believe, can you use luck on a pushed roll? Cannot be spent on luck rolls. Altering the result or outcome of a pushed roll. Alright, so this is going to be a fail. So unfortunately, when you go to make this last pour, it's actually an attached mold to the device, and the material spills outside the mold. It kind of burps and bubbles, and the main crystal, the main focus of this death ray, is now covered in this molten material, and with that, it ruins the quality of that gem, and that was the rarest part of the device, and unfortunately you will not be able to complete the construction of the death ray.
Fuck!
Yeah.
God damn it, now I'm gonna have to shoot people.
And there's also a fire starting in the crucible. As you guys go to put it out, I won't have you do rolls or take damage here, but we're going to kind of flash forward in time a little bit. It's after this failure that you all maybe part ways for a bit, after you think the heat has died down. Do any of you do anything in the time between the failure of the death ray and when you receive an interesting letter? Do you go home? You have a couple months. Do you ride home? Do you go try to make money? Anything like that? Doesn't need to be super specific.
I go and do like a job like getting some fuckers that'll rustle in cattle. You know, like I go kill some fucking like cattle stealers and shit and hang them for money, like bounty hunter type shit. But on
Nice.
some like working for like a specific ranch and they're losing cattle and I like gotta like get it back type shit, you know.
I like it. So what you can do is your rope use skill or your I think there is a skill on your sheet for riding the horse, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's assumed everyone can. Then I would say roll rope use and one of your fighting skills and see if you get better at it.
Am I doing that right?
Yep. Unfortunately, you do not improve at rope use. And then one of your fighting skills. You actually want to fail these.
Brawl.
Alright, nice. So go ahead and roll a d4 and add that to your brawl. Alright, anybody else? Try to train some skills. Look for anything special.
Albert would probably go to a local town to sell his newfound mountain lion repellent tonic. So he
Yes.
can make a few bucks.
Awesome. So I would have you make a fast talk roll and probably a charm roll and see if you can improve those skills. Or if you guys have a skill you want to improve, give me a way that you're trying to train it.
I'd prefer to use charm instead of fast talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody's gonna get to do 2 skills. Do a space / roll space d4. Oh, it doesn't work. All right, there should be a little dice symbol. Oh, there you go. Hell yeah. So you got 4 to your brawl.
Sorry, I keep pressing shit.
Oh, you're all right. But yeah, everybody can pick 2 skills that they want to train in this little downtime. And then let me know.
I guess it'd be charm and first aid.
Okay. So maybe when you're doing the sales, one of the people you pay a couple bucks to help you move the crates, like twist their ankle, and you remember something that maybe Wilhelm did to splint somebody's leg. You're like, oh shit, I remember how he did it. Like, that's your little opportunity for it.
You want me to roll charm and first aid?
Yeah, charm would just be generally selling the stuff. Charm, you failed. That's good. You failed at both. So roll a d4 for charm and a d4 for first aid, and then improve it by that much. I know I'm not doing the training right, but I like it this way. It's quicker.
Wait, a failure is
A failure is good when training, because you learn something from it.
Okay. Cool.
I think.
Also, guys, all of your skills that have little dots next to them, unclick those dots. And then you're going to click them as you pass rolls using the skills. And then you'll get to improve them at the end of this. Alright, so James, what skills are you training?
Clairvoyance. And let's see. Clairvoyance and my handwriting is pretty good. Let's start with clairvoyance.
Alright, so clairvoyance. When you sit down to meditate, you do reach the trance state pretty easily. You're good at this, you're trained at it. But it takes you to that same place, that same deep Stygian ocean. And you're sitting on a raft, floating. It's calm. There isn't a storm. It's just black everywhere. And across from you on the raft is that little statuette you found in the mine. Facing away from you. It's made of this kind of green, dimpled, like jade-like stone, this little statuette. And it's silent. You can't hear yourself breathing. You don't hear water lapping up against the raft. It's just pure silence. What do you do?
On a raft in the ocean. That's badass. Get closer to it.
Okay.
Maybe hold it.
You reach out and pick up the statuette, and as your skin makes contact with it, you all at once remember what happened. You remember looking for someone's lost loved one. The names, they don't come back to you, but you can remember the faces, and the faces are all scared. They all have this fear and this lack of hope. And these people you meet, they seem well enough. Some of them may be criminals, some of them may be swindlers, but they're good enough, right? And you all climbed down into that darkness, and you went down first, and you were alone. You were alone. And you pop out of your trance state, and you're sitting at your meditation area, and you're holding the statuette. Go ahead and roll clairvoyance. Ooh, no improvement.
Okay.
And then what was the other
I
skill?
think Probably electrical repair.
Oh, before we do that, go ahead and roll sanity.
Sanity. Let's see.
Failure.
no.
All right, you're gonna take 1 point of sanity. So go down
Just
to
to check,
49.
Billy, I only improved my fighting skill, not my rope skill, right?
Correct. Yeah, you want it to fail.
Go down to 49. Okay. All right.
And then you said,
And electrical repair.
okay. Maybe trying to work on the next prototype for either the Death Ray or maybe it depends on what you want to do. Are you working towards a jetpack, like plan-wise, or are you working on another Death Ray?
I think the ray would be hard to find the materials. So
Right.
probably, yeah, jetpack.
Okay.
Okay. So roll this.
Ooh. All right. Unfortunately, no improvement in either. Round up Sal. How about you?
Well, tell you fellas, I've been spending my time doing two things. I was traveling with the carnival,
Nice.
and I was one of the sideshows. If you could beat me up, you won $10, and that's a lot of money. And no one can beat me up because I'm the best. So I was going around carnivals kicking everybody's ass, and that's pretty much all I did. I did that, and I got drunk a lot.
Nice. So, it's at this point where we will start our new scenario. However long it takes, you guys do eventually get back together. You have a reunion, maybe in San Rafael, maybe somewhere else. It doesn't really matter. But you all get a letter from Mr. Parts, who is the individual who offered to purchase any weird or esoteric things you might find on your goings about. And you almost forgot about him until you see that kind of burgundy envelope and you smell the patchouli oil on it. You're just like, oh, that motherfucker. You pop it open, and he invites you to meet him at a museum in Arkansas. And they are having a showing of some esoteric tablets that have recently been unearthed in the lowlands of Louisiana, in the swamp area. And he would like to meet you all there, and he has a very lucrative offer. He's offering $5,000 to each of you, not to be split, 5,000 each, if you'd be willing to go on a mission. And he's offering $200 just to hear him out.
Well, goddamn, I could buy my own property with $5,000.
So,
Yeah.
it's with this
I'd
that
say we go.
plans are made and tickets are purchased. It seems the closest area to where you were, actually maybe where your reunion was in Kansas City. And you are going to take a train on a 220-mile rail from Kansas City to Arkansas. Now, there are equipment lists posted in the Discord on Google Docs. If you scroll up a little bit, there's like lists of guns and stuff. You guys already have equipment, but if there's anything on there that you have your eyes on, now would be the time. Take a minute. I'm gonna get another beverage. Be right back.
I'd like a few sticks of dynamite if possible.
Sure. How many?
Oh shit, they're only 25 cents per. How much
Mhm.
credits do I have?
I think you guys have a lot of money. One of you has a couple $100, I think.
Okay, well, just out of my funds, I think I'd like to purchase like a box of dynamite.
Okay. So a box has what, 12 sticks?
Yeah, like a dozen eggs.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Dynamite is one of the most useful things in Call of Cthulhu. Alright, so you've
Shit,
got a
man.
box of dynamite, and, like, I know it probably has, like, fuse packs or whatever. I'm not gonna have you go through the minutia of spending money on the fuse packs and shit. But my question is, are you, are you gonna have some with fuses in them, like, ready to go? Or are you gonna have them all daisy-chained into, like, one big, like, fuse? Like, I know you'll probably
I'm gonna
transport
have
it in,
them
like, a high-explosive crate, so it's, like, where it should be.
probably individually, but long fuses so that
You can
um
pinch and rip it if you need to.
I could pinch and rip it or tie multiple fuses like a rat's tail together, you know, if I wanted
Hmm.
to tie multiple fuses together and throw multiple or whatever, you know.
Sweet. Now, 12 sticks I think is decently heavy. So, I mean, all of you can afford a box. If you all want a box of dynamite, I'm not going to say no. It's just going to be really crazy when you fail a roll and drop one. Now, remember, we're playing pulp rules. That's also something I should remind you guys of. So, your luck points, right? Go ahead and look at your sheet, look at your sanity, look at your luck points. Okay.
Cowboys are pretty lucky, it looks like.
Let me see, I'm looking as well. Sweet.
I think I
Alright,
may have
so,
spent some because I had to change a few things back.
okay, so sanity, I would say you guys got it back over a year of kind of doing what you do. Luck, you would, how does that work? I think you roll and you want to fail your luck roll, and if you fail, you get like more luck back. So you would have gotten that at the end of the last mission. So, go ahead and roll luck. Let's do luck rewards. Everybody roll luck. Alright, Albert's gonna get more luck. And Roundup failed as well. So Roundup and Albert, go ahead and roll a d10 and add that to your luck. Now, the way luck works in Pulp is a specific rule set. Pulp meaning like Indiana Jonesy, like action shit. So if you have 30 points of luck and something happens in the game where I tell you, okay, yeah, let's say the worst happens, a piece of dynamite gets like poorly tossed right under you and it blows up. If you have more than 30 luck, you can spend all of your remaining luck, go down to 0 luck, and describe to me how you don't die, how you survive. You can do that once. So ideally, when we're going throughout the game and doing rolls on stuff, you can spend luck to like chunk it down and pass things, but you don't want to take your overall pool below 30. That's, I think, what's called plot armor, if you have 30 or more luck. That being said, Roundup gained 3, Albert gained 4. Okay, so we've got a box of dynamite purchased. Anybody else?
Mm,
Or it doesn't have to be on the list if you just have something in mind.
what would I need? Maybe just. No, I think it'd be good.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Albert's good. Salvatore?
I guess I'll buy a shotgun too if that's okay. I don't have a shotgun.
Sure.
Let's see, which one should I?
I'm gonna go ahead and equip this prison shank that I happen to have.
Nice, nice. You do have firearms, right, Sal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Damn, Wilhelm.
Um,
Well, I don't want to fucking blow up Wilhelm's spot, but he's got 245 Colt Peacemakers. The doc is nuts.
Yeah, I'll get a 12 gauge shotgun for $30.
Okay. Yeah. Don't even worry about subtract the money. Get all the weapons and stuff you want. Just make sure you transfer the info from there into it, or like write it down or something, so you know how much damage it does. The only relevant shit is damage and the range, like the range numbers. Honestly, it wouldn't matter because you'd probably be, yeah, whatever. Fuck it, just the damage number. We're gonna be running Call of Cthulhu Light. I like it. So,
What 1d10 plus 6? What is, or what is the
where is it?
4d? It says damage, but there's like fucking 12 different things you could put it as. It's
Oh
like this,
yeah, let me look at it because they do have it. This is it's the format's different. Let me see. Rifles, not rifles. We want shotguns. Okay, which shotgun were you looking at?
just the 12 gauge.
12 gauge. Oh, okay. So it's if you're within 10 feet, it's 4d6. 20 feet, it's 2d6. 50 feet, it's 1d6.
We'll just refer to that image. I'm not gonna write all that out. It's too
Sure.
much. Sure. Okay, cool.
Point blank, and your malfunction is 99. Uses per round 1 or 2. Bullets 2. So the 12 gauge shotgun is a double barrel.
Cool. All right. So yeah, just one of those. That's gonna be it for me.
Beautiful. All right, if that's it, then we haven't gotten a physical description of your characters in like 2 years. So let me set up our little scene here. Where is it? So, as you guys manage to get tickets in this crowded, cheap passenger car, let's go ahead and go around and describe what our pulp heroes look like physically as they sit in the same train car.
Albert's got just a generic city boy suit, top hat, and kind of like a curly mustache. About 53 years old, white hair. Couple rings, little stopwatch. You know, the whole knickknacks.
Okay, you got like the pocket watch with the chain on it.
Yeah.
Now, is your flare that Albert wears, is it like costume jewelry, or is this like the real McCoy sterling silver, like legit shit?
Well, it's on the cheap side.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a feel for Albert. Is he skeevy, or is he just like balling out?
He's tries to pocket as much money as he can and maybe upgrade his wardrobe along the way to kind of he talks to mostly uneducated Western, your average cow wrangler.
Then that would, I think, make sense to put you sitting across the table, across the chess table from Wilhelm Wolff. As you haven't seen an intellectual in quite a while, you probably want to engage in the gentleman's game. As the camera turns from our white-haired salesman and pans over to Wilhelm, what does Wilhelm look like?
He's 35, so he's younger. Full beard and mustache, shorter, like, brownish hair, but like salt and pepper almost. He wears glasses that are a little too big for his face. He's got on like lederhosen, but
Oh
it
my
looks
God.
like It looks
Yes.
like Wild Wild West Lederhosen.
Okay. Okay. So maybe I mean Lederhosen has to have the high socks, right? It's part of
Yeah,
the fit. Okay. What's the color palette? Is it traditional like white, yellow, and green?
yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe not. Yeah, maybe just like white and green.
Okay. Travel hat to go with it.
Oh yeah,
All right. Big old feather in it, maybe?
I like it.
Okay. All right. Um,
Goofy dude.
and as maybe one of the passengers, kind of a little bit nervous looking younger man with kind of a brown cowboy hat pulled low over his face. He's got a kerchief around his neck, and he's been pacing up and to the spaces in between the cars and smoking rolled cigarettes and kind of looking around a bit nervously, bumps into the chess table, spilling the pieces down, and is just like, "Oh, guys, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry." And he just starts picking the pieces up and hurriedly putting them back on the table. My apologies, kind of retreats back to his seat. Our camera then pans over to the cowboy. What do we see when we look at the cowboy?
The cowboy Tim Thibodeau stands about 5'10", and his blonde hair just a little bit past his ears, clean shaven, with scars around his ears and neck, and from being lassoed around his throat by enemy cowboys,
Ooh,
and blue eyes. He's got a long brown coat, brown cowboy boots, navy blue waistcoat type thing, and pistol on his hip, and the nicest item on his. Nicest thing is that the hat. He's got like a really nice cowboy hat. It's like freshly zhuzhed up at the haberdashery.
awesome. And
And he is just smoking a cigarette and just drinking whatever is being offered at their. Where are we again?
you're in a train car on
Okay.
your I think it would be like almost a full day train ride.
Yeah, he's just smoking a cigarette and drinking whiskey, and he's just kind of just keeping to himself, but making idle conversation
Sitting
with
across sitting across from you, trying not to face you as she's fanning herself and kind of holding her bonnet as the trailer kind of bumps and jostles the pieces around, some of the pawns rolling under your table. My word, smoking inside, how savage! She just keeps fanning her face. And then our camera pans over to the free man. What do we see when we see Roundup Salvatore?
Well, old Roundup Sal, he's a bit of a conundrum, see, because he looks like a very dark white man. You never really see him outside during the day, and when you do, he's always under a very dark, specialized umbrella that he carries around. Some people think maybe he's lighting the loafers for carrying an umbrella all day long, but that's their problem. He's one to deal with problems. He's 6'4" and he looks like a white Michael Clark Duncan.
God damn. So for people who don't know, Brick Shithouse?
That would be correct.
All right, good to know. And how is Sal enjoying the train ride?
Well, I have one cigar in my mouth, another cigar that's lit in my hand, and I am purposefully standing as close to the woman as I can to offend her with my cigar smoke.
She just fans a little bit more aggressively. My word. Um, she's clearly a Yankee, very clearly a Yankee, and she is wearing a wedding ring. You notice as she tucks the fan and stands up to begin to move out of the kind of booth that you're all seated at and take her leave. The door in between the train cars, as your kind of gaze comes up from the table, you see it shut, and you see the back of that kind of young man's head who bumped into the chest car kind of duck down, and you hear this deep sort of and you see a spray of blood as you hear the entire train rock as the 5 cars have just been detached from the locomotive. What do you do?
I finish my drink before it spills everywhere. I just like start to notice the train car shudder, and I just toss my drink back and stand up and kind of like put my hand to the roof of the train car, as if like I'm bracing for impact or something.
Okay. Everybody
Little
else?
agitation.
Wilhelm frantically puts out the tobacco in his pipe and shoves that in his lederhosen. And like also frantically tries to catch the chess pieces. Before realizing that it detached. And sees him bracing. So yeah, I think he would like lay on the sidecar, like panicking. Not
All
the
right.
sidecar, the like the bench, panicking.
I think
All right.
Albert would huddle under the chess table and try and like secure himself.
All right. Sal?
All right, so the train car is detached. How far away is the other train car from us?
As you look ahead, the locomotive is making quite a distance as you notice it is turning hard to the left. Give me
Right,
give me a heavy machinery roll. Or better yet, give me an education roll.
yeah. What kind of role?
Education.
Education. E for education.
Oh, it should be at the
Okay.
top under your like main abilities.
Oh, Christ.
That's a pass. You are there's imminent derailment. The turn is too hard and you guys are going too fast. You actually see the locomotive start to go up on its side, bending away from the turn. As another explosion goes off, all of you need to make dexterity rolls as all of the train cars begin to derail. It's a pass, pass, pass.
A second.
Is there any type of like braking system that can be noticed?
Yeah, it would be useful had the train car not completely flipped at this point.
I'm trying to find the fucking top of the.
Oh, the top of the sheet.
Yeah. I can't. It's just the.
Is it on edit mode, maybe? Let me see. No, it's not.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, that's for some reason it was said in my bad. Okay, I'm rolling dex.
Failure.
Oh,
All right. All right, so you'll take 2 points of damage. Everyone else was able to brace as your world turns upside down as some of the other passengers are ejected through the windows. The woman who was standing up and fanning herself slams into the ceiling and then the floor. Clearly, you hear one of her arms snap, and as your vision kind of twists and spins over and over, You shut your eyes hard and brace as you feel that final impact of the train car hitting soft earth and then what must be trees.
You said 2 points of damage, correct?
Correct, 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And everything sort of comes to a halt after all this chaos. Um, it's silent. It's dead silent. What do you do?
I think Wilhelm would run over to the woman, try and help her,
All right,
or crawl, climb. I guess we're upside down or sideways.
Yeah, you'd be able to make your way out. If you're trying to help her, you would probably need to get there pretty quick, so that would be probably a dexterity roll. At this point, the train car is on its side, and she is kind of hanging over one of the stationary booths, like the table, the post that holds the table up is attached to the train car, and she's sort of folded over it, holding her arm to her chest. That's a pass, so you're able to crawl right over to her, and then it would be a medicine check to try to help her arm, or get her down, or whatever you want to do when you get up there. She's above you. What is everyone else doing?
Since I'm right next to Wilhelm, Albert would like to assist him the first aid and running over to the young lady.
All right, so you both managed to get up there. Go ahead. To get her down, I'm not gonna give you a roll. Are you gonna give her medical attention in the train car, or what? What's the plan here?
I
think we
would like
should
to attempt to,
get out.
or
Right.
we'll just check
I would
vitals,
discuss
make
that
sure she's still
between
breathing.
Wilhelm and Albert.
I would like to just check if she's breathing at least before we begin to drag her out.
She's breathing. She's kind of
Yeah,
screaming and moaning in pain.
Oh, okay. No, we're dragging her out.
Okay. You get outside. How about Sal and Tim? Tim, you sort of lost your
Yeah,
hat
I take damage.
during the flip. You lost your hat, and as you reach to grab it, a shard of glass kind of scraped across the top of your hand, opening a pretty big gash.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull something out, like a handkerchief out of my pocket, and wrap it around it, and just like hobble out of the turned over train car.
All right, and Sal.
I'm just gonna jump out the train and I'm gonna have my shotgun out. I'm just gonna be looking out for what's coming next because I don't think this was no damn accident.
All right. So you guys managed to drag the woman from the wreckage. You notice that there were 5 cars. There was a locomotive and 4 other cars. The locomotive went a bit further ahead and then also was derailed. What you notice is you are in a sort of valley. You don't know how far you went exactly. That would require a roll, which you can do. What is the plan? I think we were going to do a medicine check on this lady.
Yeah.
Tim Thibodeau is going to immediately try to find some sort of camouflage cover and just kind of like keep an eye on the train car. So he's just going to hobble out of the train car while clutching his hand while it's bleeding, and then walk towards like the nearest large shrub and just kind of like post up in it and start
Okay,
shooting.
so with that attempt to gain situal awareness, there should be sort of like you're scouting about, and
Nah,
you're looking for a place to kind of lay low. Obviously, you're a tactical guy. You probably think, this could be an ambush. Let's prepare ourselves. You notice that one of the train cars is smelling heavily of spirits, like whiskey. One of the train cars has sort of a pool of what can only be blood pouring out of the side of it, also laying on its side. And in the last train car, there is what looks like a railroad employee severed in half at the waist. The top half laying in the gravel next to the railroad, and the legs tossed in a tree. And next to his torso, you see a man wearing a gray suit with a dirty hat that has been crushed. He has put it back on. It is a kind of a round bowler style hat going through the pockets of the torso. You remember meeting this man when you got on the train, Dr. Ezekiel. He went by all the passenger cars and said, if anybody has an emergency, there's a doctor, blah, blah, blah. He seemed very proud of being a medical doctor. But this is Dr. Ezekiel going through the pockets of a corpse by the back of the train.
I see that as I'm running away, or I'm like running away from the train, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point, let's swap over to think about what you want to do. Let's swap over to Albert and Wilhelm and Sal. So what's the plan? The woman is sitting. You probably dragged her over to a small boulder by the side of this train wreck. Maybe have her sat up, and she's sort of just like, "Ah, my gods, it hurts." And she looks down, and her bone is sort of sticking out of her forearm.
I think Albert's gonna perform some first aid, try and stop the bleeding, try and take out one of his tonics, and you know, remove the bacteria, the infection, possible infection.
Are you going to help me, sir? You don't look like a doctor.
Well, just your luck. I have this perfect tonic for you. One moment, he, shimmies around and
Have
pulls
you any
out this
ether?
liquid.
Any laudanum?
You might want to drink this or spill it all over yourself. Either one would save your life in this circumstance. He takes out this like light yellow apple juice looking.
Before you can even like show off the bottle, she has snatched it from you and toothed the cork out of it and is drinking it.
Oh, ma'am, I don't think you should have drank the whole thing. You should save at least most of it for the wound.
She spits some of it into the wound. Yeah.
Now the tonic has a distinct ammonia smell, but
It burns.
do I roll anything with that?
Yeah, let's get a medicine check.
Oh. Hmm.
Somebody's got base medicine. Yeah,
Fumble. Oh no.
yeah, that's a fumble. That was piss, wasn't it? Okay. Nothing happens now. Anyway, Wilhelm
He has
and
sepsis.
Wilhelm and Sal, what are you doing?
I think Wilhelm would just put his like face palm at the side of this.
Well,
No, oh, also,
medicines
I'm sorry, I'll
are-
interrupt you for not the last time, but the last time in the next couple minutes. Wilhelm, you still have your polyphone, if it's not in your inventory. So it's just like a hearing horn and a hearing horn where you can understand languages, but you can't like speak every language, but you can understand languages when you use it.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, back to you guys.
Yeah. Wilhelm wouldn't even attempt to like try and fix any of that. Yeah, I am a scientist. And just
Oh,
shrugs.
you sure do have a different accent. Are you from Hamburg?
Am I from Hamburg?
God,
No.
my friend, your tonic seems to be working. I think I feel a lot better. Goes to stand up. Where are you from then? You sound German. Are you German?
Yeah. From Berlin.
She's gonna try to speak German. Oh, she remembers her lessons. She has a 15% in German. So you can have like a short kind of small talk, very educational level version of German.
Okay.
She actually looks and feels invigorated. Sal, what are you up to?
Well, Sal knows when a racehorse breaks its leg, you just shoot it. And where he just fell off a goddamn train, I'm not going to try to help this bitch. Um, I'm going to go investigate the other train cars because they don't look right to me.
All right. I'll say you probably even take a similar path to Tim. Again, you notice. Let me see. I have a little diagram here. The first train car, you see a puddle underneath it, and it is whiskey. It's definitely whiskey. You don't smell a fire or anything, but there was probably some premium shit in there. Next, it was the livestock train car, which seems to have a lot of blood pouring out of the bottom. You remember when you were getting on the train, they were loading like some pigs. It was mostly goats and chickens, however. Hmm. Then you have your car, and then at that point you see Tim on the other side of the train as you've made your loop around. You're with him, and you both notice Dr. Ezekiel going through this like torso's pockets. Um, what are you doing, Tim?
Tim was going to make a break for the bushes, expecting like an ambush on the train or something, and he's still kind of like, since we're in a valley, like darting his eyes around towards like the cliff faces and stuff, waiting to be shot at. But
Hmm.
he's really interested in what this guy's doing, so he's kind of beelining it towards him while also kind of, I guess, being aware of his surroundings. Yeah, he's beelining it towards him, and he's going to pull out his pistol and he's going to sneak up to him and just press the barrel against the nape of his neck and be like, "What are you going through that body for, boy?"
Oh, my word! And as he goes to kind of put his hands up in surprise, he winces a bit. And his arm is probably broken as well, but it's not a compound fracture. You can see like a deep kind of, or a light purple and yellow starting to spread across his forearm, and it's sitting at a weird angle. You see an individual with a salt and pepper beard, kind of more of a mutton style mustache that is a little bit thicker than his beard, with tiny kind of nose gripping spectacles and a small pocket watch with a chain from a vest underneath his gray suit jacket, with his very clean black leather shoes and gray suit pants. Oh, I promise, wasn't doing anything untoward. I need the man's belt. I think I've broken my wing. I was gonna use it as sort of a makeshift sling, you know. I was one of the
Like,
cadets. They taught me a lot. He's kind of nervous talking, and you can see he's
is he armed?
it looks like if he was carrying, you wouldn't be able to see it with the suit. And you also notice, give me a spot hidden, actually.
Can I just like give him a pat down? Spot hidden, okay. Or
Yeah,
what? What should I?
this is to notice without touching him. And Sal, what are you doing?
Right. So I'm just going to run right up and put my goddamn shotgun in his face and be like, "You better tell us the motherfucking truth, boy."
Go ahead and give me an intimidate. Mm. Mm-hmm. Um, he falls to his knees and starts begging you, please, please, no, no, I'm just, I've only gotten my license back so recently. I'm a doctor. I can help you. Just don't kill me, please. And you notice his suit pants get like darker near his crotch.
He's gone and pissed himself, Sal. What did you do?
I only
Jesus
wanted his
Christ.
belt for my sling, to make a sling for my arm. I think I'm going into shock. And with your spot hidden, you also notice while this is a pale man, there's no color in his face, and he's starting to sweat.
Okay, I ripped the belt off for him, and I give it to him.
Oh, and he just kind of like collapses into you like a fair maiden, just like, oh, help me.
Can I give him whatever? What do I gotta do?
Sure, yeah. You set up a sling. Go ahead and give me a medicine check between the two of you.
Ooh, my medicine's bad.
Mm. Oh wait, he's good at medicine, so he's gonna. We'll take your 31, but with his help, your medicine is put to a 50 because he's a 60. So he helped you. It's a pass. It's not. It's almost a hard pass, but it's a pass. And you manage to set the arm and also sling the arm, and gather yourselves together. And at this point, you've all probably met back up. You've got Dr. Ezekiel, and I don't know if she's introduced herself yet, but at this point she will. Oh, it's good to meet you all. My name is. Oh, fuck, there it is. And she walks over to some of the wreckage, and there's a little leather strap sticking out. And she puts one of her boots to the right, and yanks it out. It's a white leather handbag. And she sort of slaps the dust off of it and opens it and pulls out a Colt Peacemaker as well. And the barrel is like bent. She's just like, oh, well, fuck me, right? Just kind of throws it down. This woman, again, I'll describe her. She's wearing a bonnet and sort of like a house dress. Very clean cut and seems to be of like some sort of higher society, but definitely a Yankee. And maybe has
This is the
sort
girl
of
that hurt
a,
herself?
yeah, she's got the broken arm that got piss poured in it.
Oh no.
So at this point, Dr. Ezekiel can attend to anybody who's hurt. I think only Tim got hurt in the crash, right?
Yeah, my hand
Oh,
is
please.
still injured.
Let me see your hand, big boy. And he has a little black bag with some lotions and potions. He's going to make a medicine check.
Lotions
Ooh,
and potions.
63. He's going to push the roll. So by pushing the roll, he puts some sort of liquid on your hand. It stings, and his eyes kind of get big, and then he grabs a cloth and kind of dabs it out of the wound and just puts the cap back on. He's like, "That was the wrong one." And then tries again. And he passes by 1. Yeah, so you're gonna heal
Back to full or
one hit point.
what? Okay.
And he's gonna, he'll spend some time with Amanda and help her. What's the plan, y'all? Got a derailed train. You remember some people talking about when you saw a particularly picturesque valley, and maybe one of you commented on it, and one of the passengers said something like, "Oh well, it is beautiful, but there's savage things in this wilderness, and I'm not talking about people. There's these huge things called bears. Bears."
I'd like to squint my eyes and see if I see anything on the horizon.
Sure. It's at this point that you all gather together and squint your eyes. We can get a spot hidden from the group, so all of you can give me a spot hidden, or actually better yet, a listen.
Oh, okay. Fumble both.
There's blood in all your ears. 1. Oh my god. James, Wilhelm, you hear at the opposite side of the train. I don't know why you would hear it and nobody else would. I just wanted you to roll dice, to be honest. A voice. Wade! Wade! And you hear a firearm go off. Wade! It's about 100, 150 feet away, down at the backside of the train. You guys are kind of towards the locomotive.
Can we sprint towards the? Tim wants to sprint towards the shot with his weapon drawn. On the. Can I climb on top of the train and start sprinting towards the sound?
Sure, give me a dex to climb on up. They're kind of close enough that you'll do a couple jumps to get there if you want to stay on top of the train.
Dex.
This is just to see if you like get stuck climbing up it, or if you can do that. Yep, you succeed. So you can like kind of parkour across the train to be able to see or interact with whatever this is first. As you see Tim sort of leap up onto the train and get a bit of a lead, what are the rest of you gonna do? What's the plan? Tim has jumped up onto the train, moving towards the voice and the gunshot.
Wildman. Um, Wilhelm would pull out his dual-wielding peacemakers.
Oh my god.
He would not attempt to climb, but would maybe slowly, maybe walk with the doctor and Amanda.
Okay.
Yeah, Albert's gonna pull out his 44 Colt Army pistol and kind of like follow Tim. Not on the train, but down below, on the side of the train.
All right, you guys are packing and you're making your way towards the noise. Sal, you as well?
I'm gonna hang back. Don't want to be ambushed from behind, fellas.
All right, rear guard. I like it. So we'll flash back to Tim. As you make your way across the top of the train, you hear this voice get louder, and it sounds familiar. It sounds like that kid. It sounds like that kid who was wearing that hat. That hat that you saw go down below the window, and then a spray of blood come up. And you see from the top of the train car where you found Dr. Ezekiel, after jumping over the livestock and seeing the carnage inside, you did see a live goat trying to make its way out and almost tripped and fell into the broken glass and whiskey. You see a young man sitting back to a boulder, revolver in his left hand, about 40 feet from you, and his right hand, he's sort of done screaming words, and it seems like he's screaming in agony, and you can see this black scorch mark where his fingers used to be, and then kind of a ruined palm up to a very severely burnt forearm. And he's just sort of, Wade! Screaming the name Wade as loud as he can. What do you do?
And has he already seen me?
No, he is completely distracted, and with that success, you made it there to a point where you can see him before he sees you.
Can I attempt to like snag the gun out of his hand?
All right, so you're gonna leap from the train and then cross the 40 feet and try to snag his gun.
More like I'm gonna climb down from the train and sneak over to him.
Okay,
And yeah, I'm not just
then
gonna like
go
waddle
ahead
away.
and give me a stealth check.
Stealth.
All right, that's a success. So you manage to climb down on a spot that'll give you cover, and you also managed to climb down in front of your compatriots and maybe signal them to stop or to distract. You've got a moment to communicate before you move out and try to move on this person. What do you tell your buddies?
Will I have to roll another stealth check to approach him, or is
No,
this...
no, we're gonna ride your success.
Oh, okay. I'm going to signal for them to, I guess, just stop and give me cover. Yeah.
Okay.
They can't visually see the enemy though. He's gonna, well, not enemy, but the person. They're on the other side of the boulder.
No, you have managed to stop everyone behind line of sight.
So they cannot see him, and
correct.
he cannot see me.
He does not know you are there yet. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna have them like hang back for a second, and I am going to get up real close. How close can I get with my stealth?
You managed to kind of go around behind his boulder And as you approach him from the side, you hear him kind of stop whimpering and just be like, I fucking hear you, man. Don't fucking kill me, man. I just wanted to make some fucking money, man. There was supposed to be people on this fucking train. You hear the gun go off again.
I'm still on the other side of the boulder.
Man, just fucking leave me alone, man. Where the Wade? He screams Wade at full lung.
Am I still on the
It's
other
at
side of
this
the boulder?
point. It's at this point where you think you might have a shot to grab the gun from him.
Where am I?
You're literally behind it. He's sitting on his back to a large boulder, and you were
Okay, I'm
behind him,
behind the
behind the
boulder
boulder.
still.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna try to Can I have like advantage if I use rope use to like get to him faster? Technically, like I swing around the
I like
boulder,
this.
throw
I
my
like this. You
lasso.
have a success already. So yeah, how do you use your rope to subdue him?
So I'm going to just like pop out right behind the boulder with my lasso ready, and I'm just going to attempt to lasso him literally just like around his shoulders, so he literally can't pick up the pistol in order to aim and shoot it. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
before we know how this resolves,
Oh
you
wait,
all
he's already got his back to the boulder, so that doesn't really make sense. But go ahead, sorry.
before we know how this resolves, we're gonna flash back to the rest of the party. You hear all of you another revolver shot go off, but you don't quite hear what anyone is saying. What are you guys doing?
I guess Wilhelm is Albert with us.
I think it's
Yeah.
you and Albert, and then Sal stayed behind. Or Wilhelm, you were with Amanda and Dr. Ezekiel, so maybe the four of you were there, and Sal's the rear guard.
I was like on the ground, kind of like against a train, moving forward where Tim was above me. So I don't know if I'm on the
I think you kind
correct
of kept
side.
up with Tim,
Yeah, I
and
don't know if
we
I'm on the
kind of
correct
like
side of the
stayed behind
train.
you a little bit.
Okay, so maybe this is a question more for Wilhelm and Sal. What are you guys doing when you hear another gunshot?
Well, what I'm
Wilhelm,
concerned about now is that we don't know a damn thing about this lady here, Mander. And I think it's about time we get a couple answers from this bitch, even if she is drunk off her ass. I want to
Okay,
find out what she knows about what happened to this goddamn train.
okay. So how do you approach?
The way Roundup I always approaches with my shotgun up in her face.
My word, what are you doing? Don't you see?
whoa, whoa,
I've got
whoa,
something to do with here.
Sal.
She definitely backs
So
off a
listen to
couple
me, bitch,
steps,
and
silences,
tell me what the
listening.
fuck you know
Uh, About what?
about what the hell just happened on this train.
I don't know. I'm on my way to visit my sister. Her husband just passed away in a mining accident.
Fuck her husband, you're full of shit.
That's what? What are you talking about? Go ahead and give me an intimidate.
Trust this bitch for a fucking
Just
second.
gaslighting her.
Give me 1 second. Um, all right. Yeah, it's not an opposed roll. That's just okay. Yeah, she's very intimidated. Please, please, it's the truth. I swear. Oh my God, I'm just going to see my sister. Her husband passed away in a mining accident. That's all. And I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to feel like a real, shit kicker. And I wanted to have my cool gun. And I wanted to go. And I don't want to go anymore. I want to go home. And she just starts crying.
Sal, let's put down the weapon.
All right, fair enough. Maybe she's all right, but listen, I don't trust your ass.
Give me a moment. Feeling kind of faint. She kind of sits down, leans against some rubble, looking a little green in the face.
You need a real goddamn doctor, lady. Where the fuck is Dr. Ezekiel, motherfucker?
Oh, right here. Go
You need
ahead.
to fix this bitch. He's off her rock.
All right. How about Albert? You can kind of have an eye shot at what's happening, right? So you can see that the gunshot didn't hit your friend Tim, and you see Tim going to make a move with a rope. What do you do, Albert?
This guy that just shot. Like, what's the scenario with him? Is he
He's sitting
aiming the gun?
heavily injured. His right hand seems to have been blown off, and he's holding a small revolver in his left hand. He's sitting on his butt, legs kind of splayed out in front of him, his back to a boulder. And you can see from your line of sight, you can see Tim sort of unfurling his rope and getting it ready to make some sort of gambit or some attempt to restrain him.
I'm gonna shout at the guy with my gun raised. Excuse me, are you mad? Are you trying to lose your other hand? And just aims his pistol at the guy's left hand.
Don't fucking kill me, man! What's your dexterity?
I think it was 60. Hold on, might have that wrong. Yeah, 60.
Alright, so you go before he does, because you both have readied guns. He's definitely kind of pointing the gun generally towards you.
Oh, what? I don't get to restrain him first?
I think we're going to have this happen simultaneously.
Okay.
So let's get the
I'm gonna-
rope check. We're going to resolve the rope check, and then it'll kind of give Albert like a second chance to decide whether to pull the trigger. But in this situation, Albert, you do have the drop on this individual. So go ahead and give me a rope use, Tim. Nice. That's a pass. Now, is it worth it bringing it down to a 35 for a hard pass? Probably not. But if you were close to a 35, you could always tell me, hey, I want to spend like 2 or 5 luck to go down to a hard pass. But regular pass is fine. Describe to me what you do.
So in the moment that was it Wilhelm, right?
Yes.
Wilhelm.
He shouts out.
Wilhelm pops into view, and he like leans forward as if he was like going to, ready the gun at him. And I just pop around the corner, and as he leans forward, that just like gives just enough space for the lasso to go all the way around his like body and like just completely encircle him and ensnare him so that he can't lift his arms up, so he can't ready
Nice.
his weapon anymore.
Okay. Got him. And you cinch down the rope, and he is restrained.
Yeah.
All right. What do y'all do next? This individual is sitting there, bleeding from a stump of a hand. I'm sure you've kicked the gun away at this point. What next?
Wait, if that was happening, was my turn also happening at
Yeah,
the same
but
time as?
it depends. You technically have the drop, so you can still kill this guy, but it does look like Tim has him restrained.
Okay, now I was gonna shoot the gun out of his hand, but
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can do that, but you're gonna need, unless you have beady-eyed, you're gonna need an extreme success.
unless I have what?
There's a trait called beady-eyed. If you don't have that, it's gonna need to be an extreme success.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I saw his gun at me. I went to shoot when that rope's midair. Whoa!
All right.
You took his hand, his other hand.
Is it well, Tim's pretty close too. Is it worth what would that be? 17 points of luck to pass?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not an extreme to shoot the gun out of his hand, but you are going to successfully shoot the guy. So go ahead and roll damage.
Roll damage. Okay. How do I roll the gun? It's in my combat.
I think you'll have to just do like a slash roll d10, and then it'll have like a
Oh,
plus
gotcha.
next to it. Just tell me what the plus is.
So 6 total.
All right, this was a handgun, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, as the rope cinches around, the handgun goes off. That was 6. He takes a... He's going to need to make a constitution check to stay conscious. Yeah, about that. He is unconscious. You have shot him in the gut. The individual is now tied to a boulder,
What did you do that for?
unconscious,
I had it.
hand blown off, shot in the gut.
What
Look
the
at
fuck
hap-
did you do that for?
I
You
saw his
crazy
gun.
son of a bitch.
I saw his gun pointed straight at me.
I had it. Look at me. I got it. I'm fucking. I'm Lasso Timido. That's what they call me, Lasso Thibodeau.
I see a man with a gun. I gotta shoot.
All right. Well, whatever. Now we got to deal with this. Get the doctor over here, stat. And I'll start trying to like put pressure on the gut, I guess, while he's lassoed. I'll unlasso him, by the way.
Okay.
And
I would start skittling for more frothy yellow tonics.
we take his gun away though. I disarm him entirely. If he's got a Bowie knife. If he's got anything, I like give him a
Yeah,
full
you
pat-down.
find a small folding knife in his boot. You find that he had a revolver with 4 shells and 1 empty chamber. 3 of the shells have been fired. He had 1 left. You find let's see, a hunting knife
Disregard that.
and a small vial labeled nitroglycerin.
Do I need to roll an intelligence check to know what the fuck that is or anything, or
I
does
mean,
my guy know what it
you
is?
can read the word. I don't know if your character knows what nitroglycerin is. That's actually a solid ask. So go ahead and roll education.
Okay.
That's a success. Yeah, you know what it is. You at least know it's used to make dynamite. You might not know how to make dynamite, but you know nitroglycerin is a big ingredient.
I
And with
just
a
know
with a
from like
17 versus 50, that's actually a hard success. So that would be, you would know that like if you shake this too hard, it could explode. So you
gotcha.
know to treat it very gingerly.
So I gingerly like place it down, just like near the boulder, a few feet away from us, and then just like put everything else in my satchel, and just like make a mental note of where I place it, and just try to perk pressure on his gut wound.
Okay.
I don't know how to deal with a gut wound.
So he's
So
hog-tied, bleeding out.
No,
no, he's not
I
tied.
untied him after I disarmed him.
And then you guys probably, I don't, will, do you like shout to the rest of your companions?
Yeah, I say, get the doctor over here.
Nice. Oh yeah, you did say that. So all right. So do you guys run up? What's the plan here?
Yeah, I think the doctor, Commander, and Wilhelm would all run up.
The doctor looks kind of dismayed. Like God, stand back, stand aside, and he kind of puts his medical bag down. Ooh. Yeah, it's an extreme. So he stops the bleeding and is able to stabilize him. It's going to take a little bit, but it'll take a little while, but I think he'll pull through. Believe it or not, he's applied like a tourniquet to his right arm, although the injury to his hand looks to have almost cauterized itself. So he's spending a lot more time focusing on the gut injury. While Dr. Ezekiel is doing his work, Amanda has sort of, to distract herself, gone to some of the wreckage of the train and is starting to look through it. What are you guys doing? It doesn't seem like this guy's gonna wake up anytime soon.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It looks like we just might be here for a little longer than we'd like, so I'm gonna go over to the train car with the cattle and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring it over to the other train car with all the spilled whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start a fire. We're gonna have ourselves a barbecue.
All right. Well, don't get too ahead of yourself. As you go with this idea to the livestock car, everything, even the bugs and the birds and everything kind of falls away, and there's this moment where there's no wind and there's no real ambient noise going on around you. You hear this sort of like squelch and crunch and a snap. Uh, you've heard bones break before. Bones under enough pressure can be rather fragile. Um, Go ahead and give me a spot hidden as you take a peek inside the livestock car. Ooh. It's turned over, so you do need to climb on to the top. And when you do, it's even though it's a bright, shining day, it it's a dark train car. It's a large one as well, and you can't quite make out anything other than movement in the shadows. What do you do?
I'm just gonna point my shotgun at the shadow and pull the goddamn trigger.
All right, give me a firearms shotgun. That's a success. Because it is in the darkness, you would need a hard success. So unfortunately, you take a shot and you see this motion kind of dart in through the shadows. Underneath of you, you catch. Well, it kind of is in the light for just a moment as it's tracking towards a shattered region of the car to try to climb out through a hole. This sort of short, hunched, stocky-looking bipedal something. It's green, it's gray, it's a blur. It runs by and tracks its way through a hole in the train car, and you can hear its footsteps begin to sprint away as you kind of look up from the overturned train car, and you can just see some bushes kind of shaking. So whatever it was has made its way into the tree line. What does the rest of the party do when they hear the shotgun go off?
Tim wants to get high again, so he jumps on top of the train car. He maybe he whips out his pistol and he's trying to get like high ground to get a visual of both sides of the train car.
Sure.
So can I climb on top of like the train car where the cattle was and stuff?
Yeah, you can climb over to where Sal was. Absolutely. And you maybe see where Sal's looking, and you look as well. How about everybody else?
Albert's got his pistol readied. He's kind of up against the train car. Tim is above him, and he's just got one area kind of locked down.
I failed my dex actually. Never mind.
Oh no, you don't need to dex to do that. Yeah, you're fine. I'll tell you when you need to roll. Don't worry. Okay, so Albert's kind of ready. He has weapon ready, looking or waiting for anything. How about Wilhelm? I think you're muted. Oh, sorry.
I think he I don't think he would chase after the second bullet. I think he would stay with the others. Maybe like make his way a little away from the doctor and you know who he's tending to, just to like
The
try and.
doctor doesn't stop doing his work because he's doing life-saving care. He doesn't even look up for the gunshot.
I think he would try and like eyeball it, like see what's going on, but I wouldn't. He wouldn't run toward it. Because I guess he would see Tim, making his way, and I'm not sure what Albert's doing yet, but if I can catch any type of glimpse of anything.
All right. See, being as you guys are so kind of close together at this point in the game, when we come back, let's take a 10-minute break here. Um, it's gonna kind of be free play. Like you guys just say stuff. I'm not gonna prompt you in a turn order to do stuff anymore because I feel like whatever that thing was, it's not here. So it might be time to do some investigation. So I'll let you guys ask questions and I'll answer them. All right, but let's take a 10, and we'll be back.
Sounds good.
10:55. My word. Yo, dude, I didn't even notice the Albert Bothwell pictures.
Yeah, I was running through a
With
few
the cup of
as the story
piss.
was
Oh
going
my
on.
god, bro. Oh my god. Selling the piss cup. Like, you gotta drink piss, right? She's like, You know what's wild? That was actually a thing. Especially in this day and age. It's not even
That
like
year and
it's not even wild. It's just like, yeah. You just don't call it piss.
it's like piss mixed with thyme and like oregano.
Yeah. It's very aromatic. I can't believe you fumbled a medical check with piss.
Well, my medicine is one.
I know, that's so rough. Fuck. But it's like you would have fumbled with a 50, but you fumbled with like a 97 or something. Like 98. Oh my god.
She still chugged it.
She had like an open like artery and you just directly poured like a tablespoon of piss.
Well, no, she grabbed it and poured it herself.
Yeah, yo, yeah, she spit it in there. She nasty. Arnar. Oh, Kidu,
Arnar.
I like Nyarlathotep. That's my favorite great old one. To answer your question. Because Nyarlathotep is like Odin, where he can just be a guy if he wants to. Just show up. Fucking wild. And Masks is such a fucking good campaign. Are we here? Who we missing?
I'm here.
All good.
Nice. So I think we're just waiting on Tim, which is fine. It's got tres minutos. Oh my
Oh no, I'm
god.
here. I'm here.
Oh hell yeah. Alright, if we're good, then let's keep it rocking. Okay.
With a rock.
Let's go to let's change the map here. Oops. And then we'll put you guys. This is kind of a cool shot. Yeah. Okay. So, last we left our Pulpuros, something ran into the tree line. Now, when Sal took his shot with the shotgun, it blew a hole in the top of the train car, revealing light onto this thing, showing it was kind of a stocky, bipedal, short-armed thing, nude, hairy. Um, you couldn't get much more than that as it dashed with incredible speed to another shadowy area of the car and crawled through a hole in the ceiling and sprinted to the tree line. The rest of you have kind of grouped up as Dr. Ezekiel is giving life-giving care. Um, you'll notice Amanda going back towards the body or going over towards Ezekiel and kind of, without thinking, grabbing the man's hat off the ground and looking inside the brim. What do you guys do?
Um,
Repeat that one more
Well,
time.
I
So
want to get a better
essentially,
look.
uh, Sal saw something inside the cattle car, heard something, looked in, saw something move in the shadow, and took a shot. And then it
Oh,
ran off into the woods.
can I do a visual track? Can I do track skill?
Yes.
And can I push that to a hard success?
Yeah, you can spend 3 luck to make it a hard success. So, with a hard success, you notice that there is a blood trail where you saw the movement inside. Oh, no, not a luck roll. On your character sheet, go to edit mode and subtract 3 luck points. But yeah, at the area where you saw kind of those bushes and trees part, you from the train car, you can see an obvious blood trail that you can follow. Not only that, with a hard success, you look over your shoulders, you kind of take a 360 view of the situation, and you notice a separate blood trail where it looks like someone was dragged from the wreck into the opposite tree line. So you have kind of 2 paths you could follow.
I say we're not alone out here, boys and girls. And I so I noticed 2 tracks. Got it.
Leading opposite directions, one kind of from the front of the wreck, one from the rear of the wreck.
Okay. I'm gonna just stay on top of the train car and wait till everybody's grouped up with me, and then relay that information to them.
Sure, do it in character.
Has everybody met up with me? Like, where is everybody
Yeah.
currently?
Let's say you guys are all have grouped up, and Ezekiel has finished his life-saving work. The individual who he has found his wallet and his ID, and his name was Johnny, Johnny Buck. Well, Mr. Buck, he will survive, but we need to get him to a town. Where are we? Mr. Ezekiel, Mr. Ezekiel, I may have found something quite useful in the young man's hat. She kind of flips out a small sheet of paper. On roll 20, I need to test this, and let me make sure before I do it that it's the correct handout. Yep. Okay. So this. All right, then I need to edit this, and let me. Okay, so we have Roundup Sal, we have Tim, we have Zach, and we have James. Save changes, show to players. Can you see that?
Handout C.
Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
you find in Johnny Buck's hat is a map. As you can see, it seems there was an area where the wreck happened with a mark of 1210, 5 car. And there's some other interesting things marked on the map as well. Now, one thing your characters would know that you may not know is that Mapleton on the bottom right of the map is probably a town. I would say if any of you have probably education, I would say, or if you have something more specific, like maybe track, I could say is arguable. If you're a tracker, you probably know your geography pretty well. Given this reference of a map, you can make a check to kind of figure out where you are, because it is showing you a landmark of Muller's Creek.
A pretty good history.
Navigate with the success, with the hard success. Fuck yeah. Yeah, you know that based on this map, you are probably, let me see, 30 miles away from Mapleton. It's the closest area, a population of 53. But it does have an honest-to-goodness post office there.
Well, we're about 30 miles away from the nearest town. I know a girl over there. We got quite a distance before we can get there. And there seems to be some blood-sucking demon around. You, comrades.
Is there anything around that like Wilhelm could potentially build, like one of those things you put on a track and that you like push up and down, make it go?
Honestly, yeah. Um, it would take a really long time. It would take like probably a week of work.
Eh. Maybe in regards to the mystery monster, maybe Wilhelm could sit down and meditate, try and use his clairvoyance to see what that was.
All right. As Wilhelm sets up to meditate, let's have just thoughts from everybody else because the meditate takes a little bit to set up, and then we'll pop a clairvoyance. But let's hear from Albert and Sal. So you all have this map.
Well,
You've all been able to pass it around and look at it. You should have access to it from here on.
Albert doesn't have any navigation skills, let alone tracker. I mean, sorta does, but not efficient. So I don't. Albert has no idea where he is, based off of looking at that map. Um,
So I would say probably Amanda or Tim would probably be like, "Oh, it looks like it says 5 car 1210. I mean, we were passing through here right about noon. It seems like this is a map the bandits had to know where we would be. So if they were right, then we are right at the top, kind of sort of top middle right of this map. So the closest mark here seems to be Dunker Cabin, or what looks like something called Fort Rufus."
well, I would say there might be bandits bunkered in that fort, or there might be a forward operating camp at the Duncan cabin. So I would suggest if we're trying to hunt anyone, we head straight for that cabin. Less defenses. Strike them in the night. Well, it's
If
not
I
night.
agree, they don't know that we're alive. We can get them on the side surprise, and that'll.
Well, one thing's we're gonna have to walk there, and that's gonna take quite a few, I'd say. However,
It's at this point that Johnny Buck kind of gains consciousness. What the fuck happened to me? Oh. You found the map in his hat.
You got rescued, kid. Tell us about this fucking man.
What? He kind of sits up and winces in pain, lays back down. So you maybe hold the map in front of him. Oh, yeah, that's. Oh, thank you. I'd be dead. Anyway, yeah, yes. What do you want to know? What about the map?
How about who fucking made it?
My uncle made this one for me. I was doing a job for his buddies. It's pay off my debt. I was just supposed to detach the cars. It wasn't supposed to be going so fast. We wouldn't have started late. They wouldn't have had to been speeding through this valley.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I suggest you
Why are we
tell
saving
this
this guy again? Why don't we just kill him now?
Well, hold on right there, Sal. Sir, I suggest you tell my friend, my big burly friend here, to where your uncle is, and you'll be able to pay your debt off.
Sounds like a charm roll.
Otherwise,
Unless you're about to threaten him. Uh-oh.
I was gonna do a persuade, but yeah, that charm.
Well, you could... Yeah, you can do a persuade.
Oh God,
Alright, is it worth 7 luck points to pass?
no.
Is it worth trying to push?
Yeah.
Alright, so how are you going to do
So
it
how'd I push?
in a riskier way?
You see, my friend's fingers quite trembly on the trigger there. He hasn't had his tonic of the morning, if you say. Is it the fort or is it the little cabin?
Alright,
Or
go
is
ahead
it
and
the
roll.
town?
Now, from what I'm getting from this, if you fail, the gun's going to go off. But no, because then we're back exactly where we started. The gun's going to go off, but it's not going to hit him. He's going to piss himself and pass out. And then another hour passes, and then he wakes up again. I'll tell you anything you want to know. I swear to God. All right, let me see the map. And he takes a peek at it. And okay. So I'm bleeding a lot, man. The cabin. All right, the cabin. Yeah, the cabin. The cabin has like, this is kind of where we would store like caches of like some of the stuff we got off of these trains, mostly food, but there's definitely some money there too. It's probably food you could probably winter there if you made it past these mountains here. And then Rufus, the only Rufus I know is my uncle. I actually didn't look at this part of the map. He said he was building a house, not a fort. I don't know. It's kind of far, but you could probably make it either or. But I couldn't really tell you what's at the fort. I've stayed at the cabin before, and if you need to hole up, it's a good spot. Also, down on the southwest there, we've had some encounters with some tribes that weren't too kindly to bandits taking refuge on their land. We did lose some men. We gave them what for though, and then of course you can follow the creek all the way down to Mapleton. It's be a few days ride, maybe day and a half.
Well, I suppose that's enough. Don't know how honest that is, but
He seems to be
What do
pretty
you know?
honest. He seems to be generally
What do you
honest.
know
Like,
about
not
the
only is this guy pretty much at your whim, no matter what. You did save his life, and I think at this point he understands that you're trying to restrain him, and it's because he pointed the gun at you. Seems a little apologetic and shaky. Now the Dunker cabin. That's the gang I'm in. We're the Dunker gang. That's our cabin. And Wade, that's my dad. He put me up to this. He said it'd help us pay our debt. He was supposed to meet us here, but I mean we were late, and shit, they should have filled y'all full of holes before I even crawled out of that goddamn wreckage. I don't know where the fuck they are. They ain't here.
do you folk have a password?
Yeah, hey, it's me, buddy, and then they look at you and they see that you're you, but you're not me. Oh man, I'm seeing like 3 of you right now. He kind of just lays down for a second, sits back up.
Well, I think you've said enough, buddy. Whips out his tonic. This is
Give me.
most
Well,
pristine
hold on
in the
before you
land.
give him your goddamn piss. What did you think was the fucking cargo on these trains, son?
You were supposed to take. Oh, we were supposed to take the powder keg whiskey from the first car, and if we could get some of the livestock, we could rustle it. People were not supposed to be riding this train. It was supposed to be all cargo. That whiskey in there is worth fucking $5 a bottle. Can you believe that shit?
It's good shit.
Yeah, I was licking some off the ground. No regrets.
It's at
Well, you
this
done fucked
point.
up this time, boy.
So at this point, as he starts to wind down, and you'll be able to ask maybe one or two more questions here before something happens. So what do you got?
Time of day is it?
Um, if you were on schedule, you were to be at the location at noon. So it's probably getting towards 2 o'clock of just like all the medical treatment and kind of hunkering down and figuring shit out.
I'll ask him, you seen anything scary out here? Anything unexplainable?
Well, I truly didn't see it, but my cousin told me he got chased through here by one of them big old mountain cats, right? And he was getting chased through here, and he went down a gully and he fell and he lost his rifle and he was lost in the woods all night and he ran into this fucking thing. It was like a tree made of bones. It was like people's bones on it. I don't know. He ain't really been the same since. He don't really come around the gang in these parts no more since then. I thought it was just the laudanum getting him good, but he's dead broke. It like one job would save him, and he refuses to come back here. So I'm fixing to believe it might be real. I don't fucking know, man.
You said a tree with a bunch of bones.
He, he would kind of lose his shit when he would talk about it, man. But I spent a few nights with him at the old opium den, and when we would get real fried on that shit, he would talk about it. He would talk about it like he's seen something, like he knows something that I can't know. That's how he would say it. He'd say like I seen something that can't be seen.
I just kind of look around at the gang while he's explaining all this. I'm just kind of looking everybody in the eyes.
I would say your friend has the symptoms of a psychosis.
That's what I thought too, man. But I was just as fucked up as him, so I thought, shit, did he say that? Did I say that? I don't know, but
I
you're
think there's
asking
something
about
out
spooky
here.
shit? That's the spookiest shit I ever heard.
There's something out here. I get an eerie feeling about these pools of blood leading away from the cars. I didn't see no people walking away bleeding. Not to that extent.
Yeah, to be clear, there's probably half a dozen passengers that got killed. Through you guys kind of assessing the wreckage over these couple hours, the conductor was cut in half. The doctor lived, Amanda lived, and you guys lived, and that was pretty much it. Uh, there is a live goat that is kind of just eating grass. It lived through the crash. Maybe it got tossed out the side or something, but it's just alive. Has a little bit of a limp. It's just eating grass. A couple chickens too. It's at this point that stumbling sort of out of the tree line is a seemingly spooked, kind of white and gray horse with a saddle and like a rifle holster with a rifle in it. No rider. Just kind of trotting over,
You know
looking
this horse,
and
boy?
kind of making eye contact with you. Johnny sits up. Oh, no fucking way. That's dog spit. That's dog spit's horse. Oh man, he must be fucking dead. He loved his horse more than anything, man. Fucking dog spit. Rest in peace.
I'm trying to see if I have any like horse skills, but I think everybody's got them right.
It'd be like
It's generally
roping this, right?
understood that all of you have it unless you choose debutante.
Oh, ride skill. That's like if you want to do some
Right.
crazy shit on the horse, though, right?
Yeah, that's for like stunting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just grab the horse's lead and just kind of like pull it over towards like the group, and I guess since what's his name can't walk, I guess we just have him on the horse, right? Is he fucked up enough to where he can't walk?
I mean, he's got like a giant 44 in his gut. He's gonna die of
Yeah. So
sepsis in like a couple days.
okay. I guess we'll let him ride the horse then.
But again, like it's extremely painful for him to ride the horse. It's fucked up. Like you get him on there, and you would definitely need someone else like driving the horse, and he's just gonna be like screaming unless you can knock him out.
Okay.
And the doctor kind of wants to save some of his stuff. He's like, I could give him the laudanum, but like we might need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say,
So
I
would
can stay
Johnny
here with
join
him
me?
if you can get to this cabin and get some food. Then why don't we just camp here? I mean, it's clear that bandits have missed their rendezvous.
I don't know
Although
whether to camp out.
a horse with no rider, that's I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't feel like camping out in the open. Not with all these bad omens about.
Uh, Johnny boy, and he smacks Johnny Buck in the face, and he wakes up. Oh, fuck, what? How close is that cabin? Like fucking from here. If you're walking, I don't know, call it 6 hours. You can make it there. 5 if you go through the little crag area. I could mark your map for you.
I don't think we should camp out anywhere near this train. I think we should take a chicken, 2 chickens, the goat, maybe Johnny to the cabin. If Johnny can bear to walk. What do y'all think about that? I don't think we should stick around here though. Unless
Listen, and Ezekiel's gonna stand up and kind of take like you the whole group aside. Um, listen, he can't go anywhere. The only way this poor boy's gonna live is if, well, I'll have to stay with him, and you'll need to go and fetch a wagon or something we can carry him back on. The man can't ride a horse.
well
So you want to go on without our good doctor? Is that what you're saying, son? That man's going to fucking die. I
As a
say
feel,
we just leave him behind.
you
as a
shot him
feel,
in the gut.
it's a terrible thing. Although this man was showing you aggression, so in the eyes of the law, you were justified. As a doctor, I've taken an oath I can cause no harm, and
You
well,
don't got to do it, doc.
perhaps I take a walk. He kind of picks up his medical bag and puts on his hat and kind of leaves the situation for a little bit. Weird.
All right, well, you're gonna. I don't know how to break it to you, but the doctor says you can't ride a horse. You got into some nasty shit trying to flip this fucking train over, man. You got nobody to blame but yourself. But
I just wanted to kind of passes out again.
okay, all right. Well, I don't really want to fucking do it. Does anybody want to rock paper scissors for it?
Now I do say we best be getting to that cabin before our boy Sal decides to take that for you.
Can't let him live, boys. If his
I
friends come
can't
along and
resist.
find him, they're gonna tell him everything. They're gonna tell him just where we're going. They're gonna know we got the map. They're gonna know all our goddamn names.
So
Can't.
wait, What do you want? What do we want to do?
You don't have a choice.
I say we start heading to that cabin.
Dice
We
have hit
leave
the
Sal to
table,
do his thing.
and he has gotten an extreme or a hard success. Before you guys are able to finish what you're saying,
And there he gone and done it.
a kind of
Sal's
hot,
shooting.
instantaneous red mist sort of sprinkles your cheeks. I want everyone who doesn't have hardened as a trait to roll sanity.
Where do we see our traits?
It'll be in your background, like those three things that you chose. If one of them is not hardened, which I think Wilhelm doesn't have it, Albert does. I think Tim might.
I do not. You want me to roll sanity? You said.
Yep.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was my fault, Billy. I could have gained a bonus die to that charm roll. Oh well. Smooth talking.
Oh
How
shit.
much? How much?
How much do you lose? This is rough, man. Like, you kind of mercy killed him, but I don't know if you've ever seen, like, a guy in a hospital bed get his brains blown out. So I think we're going to call it a D6 if you failed, and 1 if you succeeded. No, D4. D6 is too rough. D4.
Well, shit.
Oh my god, still rolled max. Oh no.
Ignore that. I'm just pressing shit back.
Okay, so 4 sanity lost. 4 sanity lost.
Damn.
So, one
Just
thing
kind of
that
shuddered and stares at the floor for a little while.
yeah, how does that hit y'all?
Not good.
One of the parts of this game, which is very interesting, is you see how sanity is like a meter? It's like X out of X. So once you get like 1/5 of your total sanity is taken away from you, you will undergo a bout of madness, which has a whole other thing, which makes it very interesting. So definitely track your sanity loss. If you passed, you lose 1. If you failed, you lose a D4. All right. So
Okay.
at this point, what is the group decision? Where are you guys going?
Cabin, I believe.
Cabin? Okay. So, let's get a navigate. With the map, you'll have a bonus die.
Not from me.
Ooh, nice. And then go ahead and roll a d10. Or, no, you see it says bonus penalty. Just click that. Nice, 4. So you technically got a 42. You got a regular success. So yeah, you guys make it there. It's about 7 p.m. It is summertime, so it is starting to turn kind of a little bit orange in the sky. The sun's not quite down yet. But as you arrive, let me change the scene here. You arrive at the Dunker cabin. A meager 2-story cabin set in a heavily wooded area in the wilderness of Arkansas, at the foot of a mountain. Let's see. What details can I give you? Base of the hills. There's one window that has glass. This place seems very abandoned. The other windows are boarded shut. And just in front of the well, which is probably about 60 feet from the front door, there's a well. And then behind the house, you can also see an outhouse. And there is sort of a wooden pole standing up next to the well with a skull on the top of it, with kind of a set of ribs below the skull, and then another set of ribs below that, and then a third set of ribs, and then kind of a decorative shape, kind of a pile of bones underneath. And you guys are probably maybe 120 feet from the place, but you can see this sort of pile of bones over by the well. That's what you see. The sun is beginning to go down. Probably for our more like outdoorsy people, you're thinking about we need a fire soon. It might get cold, even though it's the summer. But what's the plan here? How are we approaching the Dunker cabin?
How far away from it?
You guys probably see it in a clearing there. You're probably about 120 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the group to stop, and I'm gonna try to stealth up to it and hear if there's anybody inside. I guess.
Ask them.
Ask who?
The group.
Oh, ask. All right, y'all. I'm gonna just wait up here real quick. I'm gonna sneak up. I'm gonna sneak up on this place and make sure there's no baddies. You guys keep me covered. Keep your maybe keep a weapon on me in case anything pops out on me.
What do y'all do?
Albert's gonna stay alert with the spot hidden for the ready.
Nice. So go ahead and give me a spot hidden roll. There's no smoke coming from the chimney. There is a chimney, which I should say. Spot. Ooh, success. Okay, so you notice that it looks dilapidated. The windows are mostly boarded up. There's one on the rear side with glass, and then you also notice that the front door is cracked ever so slightly, almost a perfect crack for someone to see out without being seen. So the front door is cracked open.
I'm gonna relay that to Tim.
Give me 2
before he
seconds. I'll be right
stealths
back.
away.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
We got a front door ajar. Roger that. Yeah, I don't know if this might be an ambush. There's bones.
Yeah.
Bones by the well.
We don't necessarily have any long-range weapons here. Got some pistols in the blunderbuss, so
I'm back.
we break line of sight. You see? Just creep up on them.
You want to stealth up on them? That's what I want to do.
Albert,
Yeah.
and this is above the table for a second. Zach, has Albert told the crew about he was a veteran in the war or no?
Yeah, in the
Okay.
the last set. Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
been years, but yeah.
Cool.
How should
Probably
we
just
breach
mention
it?
it.
How do you think we should breach it then?
Well, we could have you go in stealth. Rest of us form a line about 20 feet apart from each, and we slow walk. Ready. See any firing? Reduce any casualties by spreading out. We take aim, but we don't got no long range weapons. We just got them pistols, so.
That sounds like a great idea. It reminds me of when the Indians used to circle the wagons. It sounds like a very, very good tactic. I'm gonna.
Be the same, just we don't got no bow and arrow. So we just got Colt 44.
Alright, so everybody.
Say that again?
Are we gonna circle around the cabin?
Sure.
Is that
So
what
you
we're
guys commit to this maneuver. Stop me if you're doing something different, but you guys spread out in like a sweeping pattern. You make your way through the brush, completely encircling the building, line of sight on everything. Go ahead and with the spot hidden, you already passed. I would say let's get a group stealth roll. So whoever has the shittiest stealth, roll stealth.
I've got a 60.
I've got a 60.
I've got a 20.
So
fuck.
while Albert doesn't step on the bear trap directly. He trips over the chain, which brings the bear trap up, and it snaps into a sapling and breaks it, and the tree falls. It's very loud. Um, and whatever, if there was something inside, it probably would have heard you. But there's no movement. And the sun is sitting a little bit lower in the sky as you guys. Albert maybe is on his back for a second, not moving. The silence settles over you again as these birds start to calm down. So what's our move? You have it surrounded. You can see the well, the weird totem by the well, the outhouse, and is that someone standing on the second floor in the window? No, it's boarded up. There's probably not somebody standing up there. Probably not.
Albert's gonna
Probably.
be using the felled tree as cover.
He crawls over and takes cover and produces his pistol, aiming at the building.
What side of the building is Tim on?
I would say you are, like, from the picture, you'd be behind the building looking at it, so you have a visual of the outhouse and the well. How about Wilhelm or
Do I have
Sal?
any visual of Do I have any visual of like an entryway? Is there like an entryway
Yes.
like in my line
So,
of sight?
on the front of the building, which would be facing the well, there's a front door that's cracked open, and the door facing the outhouse on the back of the building is closed.
Now, I
Okay.
will say, Mr. Thibodeau, you should throw one of your boomsticks. That'll rile up anything that's in there.
I'm gonna walk over towards. You said I'm facing which entrance?
You are facing the side of the house. You can essentially choose. You're like perpendicular
Is there a
to the
window?
entrances. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's
Is
a
there a
window
window on
facing
the?
you. Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm
That
going to
window is the one with glass.
I'm going to sprint to the side of the house, and then I'm going to pistol whip the window, and then like try to peek inside while aiming my gun, if
Okay.
possible, I guess.
Before you give the high sign, what is everyone else doing?
Um,
Albert's keeping eyes on the not only the cabin, but maybe anything in the vicinity. If there's any bushes and shit hiding out.
yeah,
Okay,
Wilhelm is
give me a
definitely.
spot hidden. You pass. You notice by the well there's that totem, but behind the well you see a pair of boots sticking out as if somebody is laying on their back behind the well. It looks like a pair of like blue jeans with a set of dirty cowboy boots sticking out
I
from
said
behind
pair
the
of
well.
boots. Boots near the well. You see that? Eyes on the well on the boots. Throw throw one of your boomsticks over there.
I'm already shattering the glass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to Tim. Uh,
Oh,
Wilhelm
okay.
and Sal. But yeah, Will Albert, you're able to kind of share that, at least maybe not boots, but you give them all like the visual point at your eyes, point at the well, point at your eyes, point at the well while they're checking what you saw. So they at least have that knowledge. And with that, y'all can like turn your head and you do see the set of boots. Wilhelm and Sal, what are you doing?
I'm just
Uh,
gonna bum it up the other side of the well. I'm gonna get a look at the owner of them boots,
All right.
bum rush his ass.
And then Wilhelm.
where is this totem?
It's between the well and the house.
So
And the boots are
he would.
behind the well.
I think Wilhelm would follow behind Val, but stop at the totem.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Tim. Tim, Go ahead and give me. Nah. Anybody can shatter glass with the butt of a gun. You shatter the glass, and then you look inside, and you see darkness. Um, maybe a hearth and some furniture. It's hard to tell. But with the dying light of the sun, you do see what looks like someone laying kind of in the fetal position over by the fire. You can't make out any details, but it does look like a human form.
Okay, I instantly turn back around the line of sight and I start to make my way towards the front door and make contact with the rest of the party. But like, I stick to the walls of the house. I'm not um like running out into the open. And then I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna like give like the number 1 and then like point inside.
Sure. Sal, as you make your turn around the side of the well, you notice a pair of boots attached to some slacks that connect up to kind of just like you remember that time um you remember that time Robert got ran over by the wagon and like what his legs looked like? It's like that. It's like pink and just kind of like everywhere. Uh, Sal, do you have the hardened trait? Well, no. You rolled sanity against seeing like violence already, so you're good on that. Uh, so that's what you see. It's this pair of boots' owner has been gone for a little while at least. Um, what do you do?
Well, I am going to thank his boot self. Those are valuable in this part of the world. Uh, I'm just going to let everybody know this guy's been dead a long time, folks.
So as the tactical situation sort of starts to calm down outside, you notice Tim giving a signal that there may be someone inside the house. This is where we'll go back to Wilhelm, who's at the totem. Yeah, you're standing in front of it. It's a human skull. Uh, Go ahead and give me a like an education roll. All right, so this skeleton is not bleached. It you've seen cadaver studies. They almost look wet, like new, and there's a lot of gnaw marks on the ribs and some of the longer, larger bones. And the setup for this totem, with the amount of ribs, femurs, ulnas, these parts of the human anatomy you're seeing, this has got to be like a half a dozen bodies worth of bones. And they seem to be arranged in a sort of ritualistic, specific way. Having the skull at the top actually has broken off face plates of several skulls attached with either some sort of primitive paste or some kind of basic wooden binding, sort of like a twine. And it looks like it's many face plates on one single human skull, sort of presented at the top with a descending set of ribs. And there's a little bit of bright white sort of connective tissue at the joints. They look pretty fresh. Go ahead and roll sanity. Oh, that's a pass. You steal yourself, lose no sanity. Albert, how you doing by the tree?
I think he's gonna move forward a bit. Probably like an extra 200 feet if there's any like rocks or another bush, kind of like farther out in front of him to get closer to get a better look. What everyone else sees.
Okay. As you get closer, you do notice Tim giving you the high sign that there may be someone inside the house. I leave it to you guys. What do you do collectively?
Albert notices Tim. He's gonna make his way towards the house on the side, kind of like line of sight it, out of line
Sure.
of sight.
Backing up Tim or looking at an alternate entrance?
Um, Alternate entrance.
Sure. So you approach, you check a couple windows, they're boarded up. Um, and as you pass by the back door, uh, do you give it like a test to see if it's open, or do you just go past it, or do you post up there?
I would post up
Cool.
and
You're at the back
take a look
door.
at that. Yeah.
How we looking, guys? What are we doing? Albert
Um,
sees Tim. He's ready to react when Tim does. We've got Sal by the well and Wilhelm looking at the totem. You all kind of have a second to maybe even kind of jog over to each other and reassess what's going on here.
The guy inside don't look like he's doing so good. He was in the fetal position. It doesn't look like he poses a threat, but it could be a bluff.
um, I would like to see what is happening with these bones.
Sure.
So he wants to use his clairvoyance to try to.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. I stopped you from your clairvoyance roll earlier. I forgot.
Yeah,
That's my
that's all
bad.
good. We moved on. I
That's
figured
my bad,
he
brother.
was like,
I'm
no,
sorry,
it's all
man.
good.
Stop me on that shit. You guys got powers. You got to use them. Okay, so then rather than moving on from this and having it happen after, let's do this. So there's kind of an immediate threat inside the house. Would Wilhelm start doing his clairvoyance now?
It's
It's
like a
fine.
whole
It's
process, right?
yeah. It would say like in D&D terms, it would be like at least like a couple minutes to cast.
Hmm. I don't think we have a couple minutes at the moment. So it's like the peak of a moment.
Okay. All right, so maybe let's check out this threat in the house, possible threat in the house, and then hit it up. Don't let me move past it. All right, so how are we
Okay.
handling the threat in the house? Possible
I
threat
whip
in the
out
house.
my two. Wilhelm whips out his two peacemakers, and he's back up.
Kind of wipe that bead of sweat off your forehead. Reach in to your well, no, your later host, and pull out two
Yeah.
peacemakers. Remind me, how tall and like what's the physical build of this guy? Because for whatever reason, I'm
Um.
picturing like a portly German man who's about 5'10", but he may
Yeah,
be
I
like
think
a
that's
tall
about right.
jack dude. I don't know.
No, he's not a jack dude. He's like, I mean, maybe he's strong, but I wouldn't say he's like a jack dude.
Okay, he's
He's
got
like an average
a
dude.
working man's build, but he's this mad scientist. He's got his two
Yeah.
pistols. He's ready to back up Albert and Tim. I think Tim's calling the shot here. Sal, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna position myself right outside the front door, and I'm gonna
All
charge
right.
in as soon as I hear somebody else do the same.
You guys all connect eyes and move in. So, Tim, how does this play out? How do you guys enter the building? You've got the
I'm
window you broke, you've got the front door, which is cracked open, and the back door, which is closed.
I'm gonna give the door the boot, and then I'm gonna let Sal run in first.
Which door?
Front door.
Front door? Okay, boom. All right. Three, two, one. Everything slows down for a second as your adrenaline kind of hits your heart, and you lay your boot into the door. As you do, you notice a ton of dust come off the door, as if this place has just purely been abandoned. And you do release some of that dying sunset light into the room. And as this beautiful sort of purplish orange dying light cascades over the wooden destroyed, rotted floorboards. You see an individual laying in the fetal position in front of a fireplace, clutching something in their hand, facing away from you. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden. Just facing
I'd like
away
to
from you,
use-
clutching something.
I'd like to use luck or whatever, I guess, to not fail. Or is this for
Luck,
everybody or
amazing.
just me?
Initially for Tim, I would say you guys are probably all trying to breach it. Albert, were you trying to go through the back door?
Yeah, if I heard
Okay.
if I heard a door open, I would
You
I
heard
would
you heard the front door
assume.
get kicked. You go to turn the knob on the back door. It's locked. What do you do?
Is there a window nearby?
You need to climb up to the second floor. You can run around the side of the house and go through the broken window, or try to pull boards off one of the windows.
Yeah, I would try
Or
and
you could
pull
try
some.
to strength the door open.
I would try and pull some boards.
Sure. So you run over and you start peeling boards off. Just give me a strength check. Regular pass will do it. And it takes a little bit of time, and unfortunately, you get a nail stuck in your hand. Fuck, you scream out. Sal, you see that the individual through the window, the glass window where you have your perch, maybe even you step through the window and you notice that the individual is clearly dead because they don't, if they're alive, they're about to die because they have no face. The face is missing, like chunks of the nose and the ears are missing. There's a lot of blood around kind of like the center area, the crotch area. The feet are missing and the hands are missing. Um, and you notice a couple of like stones, like a pile of stones, kind of right in front of the body. So at this point, Sal can make the call that whatever this thing is, it's dead. But the house technically isn't clear. There's an attic and a couple rooms. But the initial threat seems to be dead.
Alright, look alive, boys. This man here is dead. We
All
gotta
right,
kill his house.
you guys clear the house, kind of full tactical maneuvers, and there seem to be no other threats. Um, so what you have presented before you is a home with an attic and 3 rooms. There's a main common area. There's an area with 2 bunk beds, and there's another area with a single, seems like the master bedroom, like a single bed. In the room with the single bed, there's a chest. In the common area, there's the body with the fireplace. There's a rug on the floor and a few kind of old, rotten, stuffed armchairs with some blankets thrown over them. Pretty sparse. The chest in the bedroom it's more of like a footlocker made of probably tin. And in the bunk room, there are some articles of clothing, nothing really of note, other than over the fireplace there is a shotgun and a box of ammunition, both of which look relatively new. It looks like the bedrolls placed in the bunk room are new as well, as if about 8 or 10 people were staying here. It's at this point while maybe the guys clear the area and they start maybe looking for anything interesting. Tim sees the shotgun. Some people are looking for other things. We're going to flash back to Wilhelm. So, Wilhelm, describe how you set yourself up to kind of divine the bones.
You said there are bones inside, right?
No, there was a pile of stones in front of the body. If you want to
Stones.
examine those, since we're not in a time of crisis and time is not a factor, you can just pick them up and examine them. Or not
Okay.
pick them up, whatever. You get down low, maybe you have a lantern. You guys have lanterns and torches. Um, you tell me, but in order to examine them, you might need some light. The sun's probably going to be down pretty soon.
Okay. Probably have a lantern.
Cool. So you see three kind of triangular stones. They seem to be napped at the edges with this sort of kind of hitch at the back. It looks like they might be. Give me an education roll. It looks like they might be arrowheads, specifically arrowheads of. Hold on, let me look it. I have it right here. Specifically Cheyenne arrowheads. But they're made of a unique stone that looks kind of familiar to something you've brought back from a dream not too long ago.
Um, he would probably take those and put them in a pocket.
Okay. So how do you want to go set up to clairvoyance these bones?
Definitely need Sal. Would you come with me and watch my back?
I got you, brother. Do your fucking.
This may look weird.
As both of you exit the front of the building to kind of head towards the totem, the well, it's a circular stone well, and believe it or not, the well looks older than the house, more well built. It actually has a cover over the top of the well, so there's two posts with a small roof. On top of the well looks to be, at first glance, a fairly large vulture, a carrion bird of some kind, and it's dark out, so it's kind of more of a shape, but that's the kind of vibe you get from it. You sort of hear this. It begins to move and shuffle its wings and kind of bob its head a little bit, and you hear this sort of Foes. Foes. Kind of sticks its head down and plucks a feather out. Can't really make a lot of detail on it.
You're seeing this?
It's basically the two of you seeing it right now. I would say those of you in the house can make a listen check. All right. Yeah, you hear it. I don't know if my voice came through on that, but it's kind of a Foes. Foes.
Favos.
Something.
Maybe we should bring the others.
Maybe we should fucking shoot this fuck.
All right. So, when you say maybe we should shoot this fuck, you see a quick movement from it, and then it really, it's almost comedically and awkwardly, tries to take off from the roof and sort of hits the ground for a second and runs a couple steps and starts. And you see at the wingspan, it's probably 10 feet. Like, vultures get big, but this could be something like the damn Thunderbirds you heard some of the natives talk about. It's big, whatever it is, but shit looks like it can hardly fly, and for about 10 seconds it does take flight over the tree line and kind of disappears into the darkness.
What the fuck was that?
Bird. It's not a bird.
Place give me the goddamn creeps. Didn't that boy we killed say something about food and treasure being here? Where the hell's all that shit? I hate this.
So maybe as you guys get back inside the house, let's get some spot hiddens inside for some of the people who were looking around inside the house before this whole moment went down.
Sorry, repeat that.
Anybody other than Sal or Wilhelm, go ahead, give me spot hiddens. Nice.
What do I see?
So Tim, we'll start with you. You end up in the master bedroom, kind of digging around, and you find a metal lockbox under the bed. It's locked. It can be forced, and without much effort, you maybe take out the hunting knife and crack the lock off. There are 5 $10 bills, $50. There's also 5 shotgun shells for the shotgun that was over the fireplace, and there is a perfectly intact, working sterling silver pocket watch. There's also a set of letters. I will send those to the party in a minute. Let's get Albert's spot hidden.
Oh, I thought it... Oh, okay.
All right. You don't find anything hidden, but you do manage to make full inventory of what you found here. You found several cabinets full of hardtack and dry food. You tally it up, and you have food for about 3 months. And if the well is good, then you have plenty of water. You've essentially found another fairly viable place to hold up, as well as a vintage Colt model 1855 12 gauge shot or 20 gauge shotgun, more of a bird hunting gun. And there is a silver street razor as well. And that's what you find in the house on your search. And as the bird flies away, let's take a look at what Tim found inside the lockbox, because we may end this in the next about 5-10 minutes here. Let me just make sure I have the correct handouts. Okay, handout A. And handout, okay. Edit. Boom. Fuck it, all players. Save changes. Handout A. And then handout B. So, handout A you find on the table in the common room, and handout B you find in the lockbox that Tim went through. So I'll read them out loud if you would like me to. You guys will have access to these and check them out. Handout A. Uncle, I do not care 1 cent that you think we owe you more. All you did was bring some horse feed and complain bitterly about the Indians harassing your house. And Dogspit says you took his wolf knife, and he is inclined to pay you a visit like he did that old man in Arkansas City. It's all I can do. So a letter to someone's uncle. Wade, as much as I am still angered at your godless gang skipping out on my honest brokerage, It's time for us to take the high road. I've been hurt bad, Wade, but I don't need to make you privy to the ins and outs of the matter. I'm old and tired of this continuous living, and my leg is ruined. I've been unable to travel to Mapleton, and all I have in my fort is bitter coffee and some boot leather. Dog spit calls it jerky. I've cast my lot with you and yours, and fast need supplies and liquor from your trough, Uncle Rufus.
Rufus.
Uncle Rufy.
Well,
Well, it sounds like Rufus is at Fort Rufus, so that seals that, but
so who's the faceless guy?
You go to inspect the body. The body has on him another cult peacemaker. That's pretty much the only intact piece of equipment. Again, the boots are ruined. The feet have been eaten, it seems like. Gnaw marks along the bottoms of the ankle bones. The hands seem to have been eaten, and the face seems to have been eaten. There were a set of stones that Wilhelm found and pocketed. I believe that's up to Wilhelm whether or not to share what he found with anyone. The body, it's hard to identify who it might be. The only person who knew them has a bullet in his gut and his head.
Well, shit.
But you got a pocket watch. What's the plan for the night? The sun is down. It is now dark. It's probably about 9 o'clock.
Probably have someone keep watch, light a fire, maybe eat some of this food they got stored here.
Well,
Yes,
there's brand new sheets on that bed. Might as well take use of it. Other than that, we head to the
I agree,
fort in the
fellas.
morning.
Well, to get us some sleep and then get the hell out of here with the first light.
Hopefully, we don't wake up with no face.
How many of you are there total? It's you guys plus the doc and Amanda?
yeah, there's 6 of us.
So there's 6 of you. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah,
Who's taking watch? Oh, better question. Are y'all holding up here?
Yeah, I'll vote to hold up here, and I'll volunteer to take watch. Got good spot hidden.
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
we should
defend
stay
it.
here.
we stay.
Let's stay.
All right. So, it sounds like Sal and Albert are taking first watch, or just Albert?
I'll maybe 2 of us, and then the others
2
can
is a
sleep.
good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 at a time, fellas. 2 directions.
So where are the rest of you sleeping?
The freshly made beds.
All right. There's some bedrolls. The bunks are a little musty, but you can throw a bedroll on top of it. It's fine. You do manage to probably go through the night. This is just an assumption. You probably won't light a fire. Probably just eat some of the dry food. What are you drinking?
Oh shit.
Because
There's
I
a
don't think you
well.
guys brought any water or whiskey.
Let's give
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
water to the goat. If the goat dies, we don't drink the water. If the goat lives, drink the water.
That's a good idea.
I mean, you can go a day. You could say you're not drinking anything. I'm just saying that's on the table too.
I think it's risky to go outside, so we stay in and we get water in the morning.
Okay. So, you guys set up to sleep. We're almost done here. Wow. Oh, I rolled 100. Never mind. D100, not roll 100. All right. So, let's get spot hiddens from our watchmen. Ooh, 2 successes. All right. Sal, is it worth 5 points of luck to make that a hard success?
Do believe it is.
All right. So you turn that into a 25, subtract that luck, and that turns into a hard success. So with a regular success on my end, maybe it's starting to get end of watch. Your pipe's out, or I don't know if you're a cigarette man or a pipe man, but whatever your tobacco product of choice, maybe even chaw, you go to re-up, and you stand up, stretch your legs, stretch your arms above your head, and you kind of take a peripheral look, and the moonlight strikes the well in such a way where you just see some movement, and then you hear a clunk. Something was definitely tossed into the water.
Well, damn.
All right. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up some little rocks and throw them at the windows of the house. Make sure everybody's awake.
Okay. You grab a handful of gravel, toss it up at the windows, wake everybody up. Everybody's been mustered. They come downstairs or come to the front door.
My hand signal to him that someone needs to go check out the well.
Who-
I don't. I don't. We go together.
Someone's got to watch our back. Someone's got to watch our front. Everybody else should go to the well together.
Yeah, I agree. We go in a group.
Okay.
All right. So you head out to the
Who's
well.
leading the pack?
Exactly. Who's leading?
Not Tim.
Somebody wants to live. All right, who's leading?
I don't. I don't think
I'll
Wilhelm
be in front.
would either.
I'll be in front, fellas. I'm the one that sold it.
Fuck,
Let's
boys, you
fucking
guys
go.
are being a bunch of damn. You boys are being pansies. Give me one of those damn guns and I'll take the lead, says Amanda.
Well, ladies first.
Do you give her a gun?
Sure.
All right,
You can
what do
have
you give
the
her?
peacemaker we found. Since
Yeah,
hers is broken.
the gun that I took off Johnny at the very beginning, the revolver.
Okay. So, she takes it out. Hold on. Damn it, I should have queued this up already. She shoots all of you in the head. No, she takes it out and with expert skill, she checks the chambers, spins it, throws in a round or two of her own, and starts stepping ahead of you. With no light sources, she gets a solid 6 steps up and gets in this wide stance and goes, "Where are you? Declare yourself!" and fires one into the air. Ow. I think that's where we'll end tonight's session.
She's hot.
Damn. Lander.
Well, hell. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thank you. I feel like eating Taco Bell now. All of this Tex-Mex talk.
I think it's
Wow.
gonna backfire on us, giving that girl a gun.
The keeper
What
asks
are they
you, "Do you
eating
give
off?
her a gun?"
Oh, I have to hog tie raise.
So, I mean,
Keeper?
you guys have had some weird, like, ominous run-ins with stuff. No, like, literally, the what happened declared that like no one could see anything specific. You Sal did get a good look at the creature, I think, right? Like you got a decent look. So they saw something that looked like bipedal, slightly humanoid, shorter than normal, stocky. You also found these weird like totem, like that totem and the desiccated corpse, a couple of blood trails from the actual site, someone who was involved and probably trying to ambush the train, um, and you ended up through some serendipitous discovery, a map leading you to this cabin with seemingly enough food and I don't know what's going on with the well, but maybe water to hold up as long as you would need, but something doesn't want you here. It's almost like the wilderness doesn't want you here. So maybe we
Yeah.
can run this back on Monday and or sooner if you guys want and wrap this up. You guys are about halfway through.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Whatever you guys want, just holler. I'm around.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for playing.
Sounds
Thanks for
good.
listening, whoever was chilling. Let's just go through the characters before we say goodbye here. How's Tim feeling? You guys saw like a weird vulture. You didn't quite see a creature. What the fuck's going through Tim's head?
Tim, has seen a lot of crazy shit in this time and as a cowboy, just like always being in the outdoors in the bush essentially, and he's just he knows there's a lot of shit out there, cryptid type shit that fucking goes bump in the night. So he's really on his toes out here.
I know he's had a couple run-ins with some things that you can't really explain to anybody, so he's been through the
Yeah.
ringer.
Yeah, so he's definitely on edge right now.
All right, how about Wilhelm?
Also on edge.
I'm
Want
sorry we didn't get to
to.
get your clairvoyance, but I had to have
It's
you
all good.
encounter the bird.
Oh, it's all good. It didn't. We'll get there. Maybe. Wants to like try and like look and
Actually,
see.
I think we're gonna end this session on your a clairvoyance roll. I think we should do that before you guys go back to bed and just have a little flash. That would be cool. But how's he feeling before he settles down to meditate?
Uneasy, worried about what he might see.
How about old Albert?
It is pretty very strange to him. However, he's got a fear of mountain lions and beasts of the night, so he figures some wolves or some lions must have tore this place up.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way a person wouldn't do this. It had to have been animals. It had to have been animals. Maybe that's kind of just running through his head. I like that. How about Sal?
Sal's feeling very paranoid because he's seen some things in his days down in the swamps of Louisiana. Lots of terrible things happen to folk of, say, a certain skin tone, but it don't happen to the white folk. And when it does, it's real bad news because that means even rich people might be in danger. And that means we're all fucked. So I'm feeling very paranoid. Nobody's my friend right now.
I fuck with your commitment to the characters so heavy. I fucking love this guy. I can't wait to get you guys in a populated city so you could just be like, I remember him. Why does Sal remember him? Probably not for a good reason. Let's find out. Awesome. All right, so It comes down to this. Wilhelm has maybe even this is a bit of a retcon. Before everyone, maybe when you went to sleep, you meditated before you went to sleep. Let's get a clairvoyance roll. But before you roll, I would like to know what information are you looking for? Are you looking for information about the location? Are you going to gather some of the bones and try to find information about the bodies? Are you going to cast it on the body by the fireplace? What's going on?
I wanted to do it with the rocks around the
Okay.
totem, but it's not really safe right now.
Okay.
So,
You do
probably,
still have the stones, so you could technically use
yeah,
them as a focus if you want.
I'd probably place the three of them in front of me in like a half
Almost,
circle.
almost like the exact way you found them sitting.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
and focus on what they are and who made them and what they're doing here.
I love that. I'm gonna let you do a clairvoyance roll. Go right ahead. Wow. Hard success. Let's go.
Go.
So, as you assume the meditative position and you slide into that altered state, it's like always, there's this sort of electricity, this sort of vibration, and you lose that sense of the room, the sense of location, the sense of self. And you're able to put your intentions into the greater flow, into the greater sort of cosmos. And you concentrate on these stones. And they're old. And you've met old people older than that. You've seen old buildings. You older than that. You've seen art from the Roman era. It's older than that. It comes from an era of darkness and cavernous wastes. These massive vaulted halls underground. Things moving in the shadows. These drippings of these creatures made of sludge, gelatin, primordial ooze, who knows what it is. Developing these rock formations on the walls, and you're following this through its development and to its discovery, and this group of people, they stand like a man, but they're covered in scales, and they're lizards, and they find these things, they make weapons out of them, and they use them in a war, a great war, a war that they won, and they hid their weapons away, and they went into a time of peace. And then you see these stones, these carved stones, stored deep underground somewhere, in the dark again. And then a little sliver of light. And something that looks a little more familiar walks in. And that's, I think, where we'll cut tonight's episode.
Dang.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
GG's,
Thanks for playing. Thanks for listening.
Good
Love you,
game.
boys. Let's do it
Play
again
all the
sometime
time.
soon.
I got to shoot someone in the stomach.